What is going on, film fans? We're back again with another video. Wes, it's good to be back, my friends. We are the usual skeptics. What do we talk about here? We talk movies, streaming, movie news, entertainment, all sorts of good stuff. Where Wes and I bring you the goods. Wes, how you doing today, my friend? Tell everybody what we're talking about.
All right. So, guys, today we are going to be talking about the 32 MCU films and how we rank them ourselves. This is our own opinion. So come at us, don't come at anybody else. So this is just what we think, how we rank these for ourselves. So I think there's going to be some surprises in there. I think there's going to be some where we're like, damn, I really didn't want to put it this low, but I had to because they're just better movies. Anyway, we're both ready. I know you guys are ready. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
and just pop off in the comments and all that good stuff. I'm gonna try to reply to some of them and do that stuff while we're going. But if you agree, if you disagree, if you think it's too low, whatever
You think
whatever
we're wrong?
think, man. You think we're wrong? You just let us know, and we will. It's our opinion. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really care what.
Very
I love y'all.
skeptical. Yeah,
So,
very
yeah.
skeptical. Look, Wes and I have been planning for this video for a long time, and this is something that, as it got closer and closer to the Guardians 3 release date, we just kind of waited because we're like, you know what, let's just wait for it to come out so we can give a solid updated ranking. Next month we got Secret Invasion coming out on Disney Plus. I'm hearing a lot of good things about that, so we're going to be coming. We already did a Disney Plus MCU ranking in the past, I think around when Miss Marvel was out, maybe might have been right before. So right before that one comes out, or right after.
Spoiler alert.
Uh-oh.
Spoiler alert. Miss Marvel was my last pick. So
Oh my God. Yeah, like what I said, there are going to be some surprises in here, and bear with us. We were trying to find a good way. We're kind of going back and forth about kind of what we wanted to do, however this was gonna play out. So just let us know what you think. Do know that it's not going to be glamorous what we're about to show you all, but we're going to ride them as we go and kind of go from there. So without further ado, Wes, what is your 32? Oh, by the way, like Wes said, just to recap, he's going to try and catch some comments in here through the stream, but we are going to go through the rest of the comments at the end when we finally get to our last pick there. So if you have something you want to hold off on, or something specific, keep in mind that we're probably not going to touch that for another hour and a half or two. Because like I said, closer to the end of the stream. So definitely keep that in mind because it's hard for us to remember. That is, Wes and I are getting old. So Wes, starting with you, man, what is your number 32? Lucky 32.
Lucky 32. Never seen it. Ain't probably going to wait to see it till it comes out on Disney Plus. Because I've heard it's dog. But spoiler alert, we said it yesterday. Ant-Man Quantumania will be my number 32 pick.
You're going for Quantumania? Okay. I'm probably going to spell this wrong, so just bear with me.
UM.
Is it UM? Oh, Quantum, duh. Quantum, duh. Like I said, just bear with us here. Wes, since you haven't seen it, you just want me to continue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ahead.
So, unlike Wes, I did go watch Quantumania. We tried to save all of our thoughts from the last couple streams because Wes and I knew we had this video planned for right when Guardians came out. So we tried to keep our thoughts as minimal as possible. We're going to try to give our overall thoughts on these films as we go, not full reviews, but kind of just the gist of it because there's 32 freaking movies. Now there are going to be a couple key ones, right, that we're going to talk about a little more than others, but this one will be very quick. Quantumania. First MCU film I legitimately did not like. I did not like this movie, Wes. Look, there's some good stuff in there, like Kang, like Paul Rudd's performance as always. But, it's unfortunate because, I wanted to see this movie so bad and I was so excited to come and see it. And to come in here and see the movie and to leave kind of disappointed, it sucked, man. It sucked. I'm not gonna lie. So with that being said, Wes, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that into here. While I'm doing that, man, just right quick, what is your 31, man?
Number 31 is going to be The Dark World, Thor.
Thor: Dark World. Okay, okay, okay.
Just didn't
Um,
do it for me, man. The
it
plot
didn't.
was awful, and I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. So
Thor: Dark World. I'm not gonna lie. I've struggled with this list today because I typically don't do rankings, but I get it. You know, it's just part of what you do. I get that. I feel that. But at the same time, it's like I get it. Okay, so if I have to pick my number 31, and it sucks because Quantumania was the only film I didn't like, the only MCU film I did not like. Wes, I'm gonna say something a little controversial. I know you might be a little like, what in the world? Um, I was excited for Black Widow. There were things in it I liked.
oh no.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I don't have any plans to watch Black Widow again. Like
Oh no.
I know I love Yelena. You and me both go on about Florence Pugh.
Bro.
We both love Florence Pugh. I didn't like the Hawkeye show, but I liked her in it. When she popped up, I'm like, yes. And she wasn't.
Bishop.
Yeah, Kate the Bishop. Yeah, like I don't know why I turned Italian there, but but
Okay, Mario.
yeah, haha. So it, yeah. I mean, it sucks. I get it. I get it. I get it. But it is what it is, and you know what? I hate to say that, but there are movies on here because I'm also judging it by like, okay, what will I watch again? What will I be like? You know what? This is cool. I'm gonna throw this on. So Wes, that is my number 31 pick. Go ahead with your lucky 30.
Lucky number 30 is going to be this is so bad. Like Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man 2?
Yeah, dude.
Man.
I've only watched that movie one time, and that's the last time I'll ever watch it. No
Ant-Man
bueno.
and the Wasp. Can you give me while I'm kind of giving my thoughts on that? Can you tell me maybe some reasons why? Oh, I tried to put it too. I'm like,
No,
wait.
I don't know. I just I didn't I don't know, man. To be honest with you, like I feel like the MCU could have done without Ant-Man and brought somebody else in.
Yeah.
I didn't like a lot of the films. Now, don't get me wrong. Paul Rudd, so good.
Right.
So good, like as an actor. I do enjoy him as an actor, okay? It's not Paul Rudd. It's just I didn't like I didn't like Ant-Man.
I feel you. Like
Just like it.
I really liked it, man. I obviously not my 30 pick, shocker, but I have my thoughts on Ant-Man. I think I might surprise you here. We'll slow down here and there, like I said, to kind of take a minute and talk about it because this is the only
But
thing
it's
we're going to talk about.
32 films, bro.
It is
It's
32 films.
32
I
films. We got a
get
lot
that.
to get through.
That's why when we get to the top, we might take our time a little more with the top films because no one wants to talk about movies you don't like. No one wants to talk about those. Number 30, Wes. This one's a recent one. I love my Thor movies. Right, Kenneth Branagh's Thor 1. I got a kick out of Dark World. I don't think it was all that bad. Not as much as what other people say. Now you have it ranked at number 31. I mean, I don't have any problems with that. I can understand why someone would have it that low. By the way, to have the MCU able to come in and do what they're able to do with their movies and the consistency, well, despite post Endgame, they've been able to deliver some awesome stuff. So to say, oh, this is the first film out of 32 I didn't like, that says something. So that is what it is. It is, as much as I love Thor, I'm going to have to go ahead and admit that Thor Love and Thunder will have to be my number 30. Because
Completely get it.
I mean,
completely get it, dude. So here's my thing, and we've talked about it before. I've said it before. I think that it's like, hey man, we get it. Tigawatiti, like you're funny, we get it, but it was just an overload of comedy,
right?
And it was a way where the thing is they could have made Thor the forefront of the new Avengers and could have made a very serious character out of him, not too serious where he doesn't joke and he doesn't do that because he is Thor,
right?
But the fact where he could be,
they went too much in the humor.
It was
I thought
too much, man. It was too much humor, and I was just like, dude, come on, like there was just there was a lot of stuff that went wrong, and there was a lot of stuff that could have went better. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not saying it was a bad movie. It's not a horrible movie. It's not awful, but it's just like if I want a good laugh, yeah, I'd watch it. But if I just don't care enough to, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's so Tika Waititi being like, I'm the funny man. Yeah, bitch, we get it.
And
Like,
I love
right,
Taika
write something
Waititi.
good.
You know, I love Taika Waititi, and to see what he's been able to do with What We Do in the Shadows,
Oh God, so good,
Jojo Rabbit, like
dude. If
so
you've
good.
not seen either one of those,
Any of
you
those,
need
any
you
of
need to
those,
see it. You
it's
need to see it. They are
incredible stuff.
it's so funny, man.
Absolutely,
But
and
cut them out because you know what you're getting.
right, right. You do know what you're
You
getting.
could have with Thor. You could have went in and, like I said, you could have made him.
Because Thor's always been funny, and we'll get into the other Thor films because obviously there's two Thor films in the bottom, two different
Yeah,
ones. So it'll be interesting to see how this list plays out. Wes and mine's going to be probably it's going to be interesting to see as we get into like the top
as we get
five,
that.
top
Yeah,
five because I think you were going to be surprised.
I don't know.
I think one of
I
the
think you're gonna be surprised, bro.
really? You think
Yeah.
so? Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, and obviously Guardians 3 is going to be in here somewhere. Somewhere. You'll just have to wait and see. And drop your thoughts on these films as we go as well, chat. All right, man. So that's Thor Love and Thunder. I really, dude, I wanted to love it, man. I did. Like, I just want to talk about it for a second because you and I didn't really do a spoiler talk on Thor Love and Thunder. I think that was about the time we took our hiatus anyway. Well, was it? No. We did a video on Love and Thunder. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I liked Gore. I just didn't love him like I wanted to.
Oh, we did a whole thing on
We
it because
did.
were like,
We
man,
did.
because we were so excited for Gore
So excited.
and they did him so wrong.
It did him wrong.
So wrong. Just like they did Adam Warlock, they did him so fucking wrong.
Yeah, if you watched her stream last
But
night,
the film was
yeah.
great. That's the difference. The film was great.
That's true. Yeah, but Gore was supposed to play a pivotal role, and while he did, I mean, do I think Thor: Love and Thunder is a bad movie? I wouldn't go that far. The only bad movie on this list for me is Quantumania. Ant-Man Quantumania. That is the only bad movie on the
Spoiler alert.
and Wes,
That's what we said last night.
yes, and Wes, when you watch this movie, you're going to go, "Oh my god, this is bad." Even the jokes Wes didn't land. Like when you know it's a line supposed to be funny and you don't laugh, there's nothing more cringier than and those of you that have seen Quantumania, you probably know what I'm talking about. But look, a lot of people did love Quantumania, so if other people have it higher in the list, hey, it's all subjective. That's all fine. But for me personally, Quantumania, Black Widow, Thor: Love and Thunder, Wes, you got Quantumania, Thor: Dark World, Ant-Man and the Wasp. That was my 30. What's your 29 as we get in the 20s here?
Oh man, speak of the devil, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Same thing. All right. Well, we didn't talk about that. All right. I was hoping to have a little bit, but that's cool. That's cool. We'll just chuck right along.
Keep going.
Well, I tell you what. This one's going to be pretty easy because I've kind of narrowed it down to two, and I had to really think about it. I don't want to say what the other film was because I'll get to that here in a moment. But the other film that I was thinking, and again, I'll mention it, but I struggled because I'm like, I had problems with this movie. Like I was comparing Dark World and this other one, another MCU, and I was going, and it's a recent one, and I was going, was it better than Dark World? And I was like, yes. So 29, well, I'll tell you in a minute, but 29 is Thor: Dark World. That's probably my and Wes and I are gonna kind of look at these when we're done and kind of make sure as they're concrete. But I'm pretty confident in my list, and Wes, I don't know if you're confident with yours so far, but
oh yeah,
I'm pretty solid, and
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
Oh, good deal.
Kind of, man. I don't know. Some of these I've got written on here. I'm just like, dude, this is.
Yeah. Oof. I mean, the next film we got's the Marvels coming out in November, so we're going to do an updated list when that comes out.
Definitely be up there at like 31 or 30 for me.
That'll be up there at 31. It might come in at a close 30, but 31.
No, it'll probably be 31 underneath Ant-Man and the Dark World.
But I thought you loved Brie Larson, so you don't think she can even?
But you
don't think she can even save the? And you love Tiana Paris in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. But the fucking Miss Marvel is gonna shit all over the bed on everything. I don't like.
No, no,
Yeah,
Kamala Khan is
yeah,
amazing. All
awful.
right, man.
Go ahead. 28.
What's your 28?
Ant Man. The first Ant.
Ant-Man? The first
I
Ant-Man?
didn't like any of them, man. To be honest with
What
you.
the
So
F, bro? How did you not love Ant-Man?
I
I
told you
love
they could go
Ant-Man.
without. No, I told you they could go without that stuff.
Oh,
They could go without Ant Man.
Ant-Man was so good. All right, so give me some thoughts on that. Like just kind of go in there and tell me just some quick things of why so low. I mean,
I
like what didn't work
never,
for you? Because
I've
I don't know.
never.
Wes and I didn't talk about this outside of maybe I can figure out Wes's top. Now we're obviously going to know the top two by the time we get
Yeah.
there, obviously. But I'm not going to lie to you, Wes. I'm already shocked. Already shocked. Wes and I have not went through these lists. This is our raw reaction to each other's lists. So,
I told you
man,
you're gonna be like, what?
why so low, man?
So I never liked Ant Man as a
Fair,
like in the comics. So
fair.
like whenever like I wasn't excited about these movies. I never like I've literally only watched them. Like I said, I've not watched Quantumania. I've watched Ant Man maybe twice, and I've watched Ant Man or Ant Man and Wasp. I've watched twice, and maybe Ant Man I've watched three times. It's just not. I didn't really like. Like I said, I love Paul Rudd. I love him. Fucking Anchorman.
Dude.
Like, dude, 40-year-old virgin. Like all that.
Paul Rudd's
Like
he's
this is
fantastic.
40. Oh my god, this is 40.
Dude, we
Gonna
went and watched
suck.
that recently. I love This Is 40. I love the Billy
It's
Joe
so funny.
Armstrong
It's
Green
so
Day
great.
cameo. Yeah, that was
Where you
pretty
sit
dope.
in the mirror. You go to.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's so funny. It's great. Anyway.
It's so good. It's so good.
God.
Yeah, got him. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at this list and I'm like, okay, what will I see? Because I didn't prep properly. Although I do have it kind of canonical in my head about where I have everything, just not exactly. But for the sake of this, so Wes, Ant-Man did not work for you.
Nope.
This is where it's gonna start getting a little hard, to be honest, because I had I had a fine to great experience at this point, right? At this point, like Black Widow, I didn't love. There were things in it I liked, but I didn't love it. But I don't know, man. I think
So
uh
my top
I'm
25 and
struggling,
down.
man.
Listen, for me, my top 25 and down, I was like good to go. Like these could like the top 20, like 25 to 15 could be interchangeable for me. You know what I mean?
And they
But from
can be
15,
because maybe
from
we're feeling a certain mood
from
one day, and
15 down,
you
from
know,
15 down, solid. Like those are like this is it
it's like,
for me.
nope, that one's crap. That one's crap. I like that. That was all right, but is that kind of how
Yeah,
you're?
yeah, pretty much.
I'm pretty stuck on what I'm about to put here in the next two. I'd say I was just trying to figure out. Um, oh, this sucks, man. Because now I'm going a little back and forth. I'm gonna go ahead. Just mm, yeah, screw it.
Mr. Indecisive over here. Look, hell, 80s
I'm gonna
kids
go.
already at 80s
eh,
kids already at 17. Like let's
Yeah, he's like at 17. Like, look, I'm gonna go with Incredible Hulk. I think Incredible Hulk is good. I think it's a lot better than what people give it credit for. There are films that are coming up. If you've watched this for the last beat, there are films I wasn't too happy with, but I followed it up with going, but it was a solid movie. And we'll get into that here in a little bit. But Wes, that's my number 28. I really like the Edward Norton portrayal. Abomination kind of got a little wacky for me, to be honest. Although I love Tim Roth and seeing him back in, like, I know Wes and I didn't love She Hulk. I started to love She Hulk and then it tanked, but I love seeing Tim Roth in She Hulk. I thought just having the character there was cool as Blonsky. Um,
yeah.
and you know, I don't know. I like Incredible Hulk. Like I remember the last time I watched it was I think about a year ago, maybe a little longer. And because it's been a while since I've seen it, right? And I popped it on and I'm like, this is it's between okay and good. Like it's good enough to watch. It's good enough to throw it on. Dude, who doesn't love that where they're at the university and they're throwing those smoke bombs and then Hulk just bursts out because one of the soldiers tackles Betty Ross. Dude, and he starts flipping his lid. That was awesome. I thought that was cool. And then Blonsky walks up to him and he's like, like, what's up? He just kicks him and he like smacks the tree. I thought it was awesome. But yeah, that would be my number 28. Yeah, I mean, the beginning had like a horror aspect too that I really liked when they're kind of looking for Banner as he's navigating through the city. And, but I liked it. Is it Avengers? No. Is it Civil War? No. But it is down here. I'll have to say at number 28. Most people have this film at the very bottom. So I'd say I'm in the minority there. But yeah. I don't see yours either, man. I don't see Incredible Hulk either. So what is your 27?
My number 27 is going to be. You're going to hate me.
Oh, no.
You're going to hate me.
Oh, no. Hang on. Let me guess. Captain America 1.
No.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I think we're fine. That's actually
Iron Man 2. Iron Man 3. Iron Man 2. Oh.
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2. Man. Iron Man 2. That sucks, man. Iron Man 2? Man.
Iron Man 2 just I didn't care for it as much as I did the first and second. I think there are better films ahead of it. For myself. And this is my opinion. Like y'all can love it or hate it. I am what it is what it is. This is what I rank them. So
I will say to be fair, I would say that, I get it because while there are some incredible films on here and it's going to get a little hard as we get through here. So it's going to be a little interesting to see where we go with this, but seeing Iron Man 2 that low, like I've been seeing people's lists for a while and it has I've been seeing Iron Man 2 down there quite a bit with a lot of people's lists, and just because I was curious.
Like it was definitely not the best of the three,
right?
You know what I mean? And it was I didn't enjoy it as much as I did the other two.
Maybe you wanted to,
yeah.
But,
you know what I mean? Like it's nothing like bad about it. It's just my opinion. Like this is my list, and like my number 26 is the Incredible Hulk. So. Like, you've already got it up there, so you can put 26 as Incredible.
Now I'm trying to fix it. There we go. 26 is...
Incredible Hulk.
Oh, what was my... Oh, you skipped me.
No, I was just saying, you've already said it, so like...
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. All right, so now it's going to get a little funky. All right, so we have Incredible Hulk. You said Iron Man 2. Wes, I think this is where we kind of meet eye to eye. I'm going to go Iron Man 2. I'm gonna go Iron Man 2.
I knew we were gonna match up.
We were gonna match up somewhere.
At the front of this, we're probably gonna be. Hopefully, I think we're gonna be.
Dude, if we end up like neck and neck, like on like the top 3, I'm gonna be super excited. But yeah, I mean, Iron Man 2, like. I love when Don Cheadle. I've loved Don Cheadle ever since like probably the first time I ever seen him was in. If you just indulge us for a second, was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think is one of the first time I've ever seen Don Cheadle on screen. And he even, by the way, I just learned this not too long ago. He voiced, if any of y'all 90s kids remember, or late 80s kids, Wes might be a little before your time, but
before my time?
Sorry, after your time. Sorry, I was thinking because I was little when this came out.
6 years older than you.
I know this is after your time. Sorry, this is after. He voiced Captain Planet. Yeah. I just learned that like recently. And what? If I know, God. And if y'all
with
look
with our powers
combined, we will save the Earth or like whatever.
We'll save this planet.
Dude, Planet.
It's one of my
Captain Planet's
favorite
dope
cartoons.
It's funny.
Like I used to watch that every Saturday. I loved Captain Planet. Dude, I had the rings. I had everyone in the world. It was kind of racist as shit to have like it was racist to have like,
it really
like
was
color matched up with each color,
Oh
and you know what I'm
no.
saying? Yeah, it
I
was
don't
just like
yeah, I don't want to
it was sort of
repeat.
like Power
Yeah.
Rangers. You know what I'm saying?
It was
Black Ranger,
hilarious.
Black Ranger, Yellow
Right.
Ranger.
There
You
was
know,
yes. Yep.
yeah.
The
I'm just saying.
stereotypical white boy as the White Ranger. That was I'll go ahead and say that one. Um yeah, and Captain Planet was so fun. Anyway, back to Iron Man 2. I love Don Cheadle. And I love we talked about it last night. I love my Terrence Main Howard.
Oh my
I
god.
love Terrence Howard, dude. I love him. And um I think he would end up being a good War Machine. I liked him in Iron Man 1. We'll talk about Iron Man 1 later. But like I liked him in Iron Man 1. I thought he was a standout for me. I thought he played a good roadie. Now, then again, it's hard to judge between Don Cheadle and Terrence Main Howard, because we've had 17 movies with Don Cheadle version and only one with Terrence Main, right?
Yeah,
So
because Robert Downey
it's
Jr. was like, "Get him out of here."
well, he demanded more money though. He was like, "No, I want more. I deserve more money because Robert Downey got more money, and
Yeah, but
Kevin Feige
Robert
and
Downey Jr. didn't
Ike
get along good.
Perlmutter. That is true. And Ike Perlmutter was like, yeah. So I mean, I don't remember how all that went down. That was when I was in high school and stupid and done too many things I should. So, um, anyway, carrying on. But yeah, Iron Man 2 had a lot of storylines they were writing, like John, and I love John Favreau. Like Wes and I love The Mandalorian, at least the first two seasons. This season, I had to tap out, man. I had to tap out.
I did too. I
I
tapped out.
I tapped out. I couldn't take anymore. Anyway, I love John Favreau. What he did with Lion King, what he done with Jungle Book, what he's done with The Mandalorian and Star Wars and Iron Man 1 and 2. He's happy in the Spider-Man movies and the Iron Man. Love John Favreau. By the way, if y'all haven't, Wes, I think you've seen it, but if y'all have not watched Chef with John Favreau and Scarlett Johansson, dude,
What is my profession?
I know. I'm telling them. I'm telling the people. I'm telling the people.
It's so good.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good. And I love Chef. And Chef's great. Anyway, little smaller movie, but it's good. And Elf. He done Elf. Dude, John Favreau is fantastic. Didn't love Iron Man 2. It didn't have that same magic as Iron Man 1. And I liked Iron Man 3. Obviously, it's not here yet, so we'll talk about that later. But Iron Man 2, yeah, just tried to tell too many different storylines. And while I do love Mickey Rourke, dude, that was a wasted character in that movie.
Oh, it was awful.
It was awful. It was almost like, now I did love God, please help me with the actor's name who played Hammer. He was in Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Sam. I can't think of his name. He's Academy Award level actor. Good. I mean, he's great. Why can't I think of his name? Anyway, the guy that plays Justin Hammer, I did love the interaction between Mickey Rourke and him, because like they would have this comedic bits where he's like, "That's my bird." He's like, "Hey, I'll get you a bird." He's like, "That's not my bird." Like, I thought it was funny. Like, there was a lot of that comedic back and forth. I thought that was good. However, with that being said, I didn't love Iron Man 2, man. I gotta say, and I know I've said it, but you know, they tried to tell multiple storylines, didn't work. The villain didn't work. They tried to tell, it felt like every storyline, it just felt like 4 different movies into one. It was like you were dealing with Tony's toxicity level. You were dealing with the Ivan Drago. My God, I got Creed on the brain. You're thinking of Mickey Rourke's character, Whiplash. You're dealing with his relationship with Pepper, and while that could have worked, just take out 1 or 2 other things and do the other thing, right? So I hate how they kind of got crunched in there, and that's fine. I think Iron Man 3 made up for that, but I'm not gonna lie, man. While saying all that, I get a kick out of Iron Man 2. Like, if it's on TV, I watch it. Just because, like, I don't acknowledge it's great, but I have a fun time with it. Anyhow, let's move on. Wes, oh well, I'll go ahead and give mine because yours was whoops.
Yeah, give yours.
So my 26, Love and Thunder, Dark World, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2. Oh my God, now I'm being all right, I think I'm gonna go for it. And I beat you to it, man. I beat you to it. This film, I was going in very skeptical, very worried, very, I mean, like everyone else, very, very, like, I don't know how this is going to work out, but let's see. Very, let's see how it goes. I tried to be excited for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I have to admit, man, Wakanda Forever just does not hit well for me. It is a solid movie. Don't be mistaken. Like the villain's good. I love how they say "no more" in the movie. They're like "no more." Like that's good. It's cool, right? Like all that stuff was good. The Shuri stuff, just narratively, what you've set up in previous films from Civil War, the Black Panther, you're completely gutting what the character is of the Black Panther. You're completely gutting and redoing whatever it is that you're trying to say.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with West Wakanda Forever because I'm not gonna lie, man. It just hits there with me, and I hate to put it down there because I don't put any of this on Ryan Coogler's fault because he had to do this movie.
You're just gonna have to put Wakanda Forever.
Oh, I see. Oh yeah, they'll know what I'm talking about. And I wanted to love it. I did. I tried to leave those expectations at the door, but Wes, you and I talked about it for months, man. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P. But I said, Wes, I have a feeling they're going to go with Shuri, and I don't want them to because it doesn't make narrative sense. God. They had a fucking character in the movie. Wes, we talked about the F-bombs, but I don't care. They had a character in the movie. Nakia, who infiltrated a civilian sovereign nation, and creeped into their undetectable, the world doesn't know about, like Wakanda was, undetectable civilization, rescues the freaking queen, right?
Yeah.
Brings her back. And she's like, "Here, I'll give you the herb because you're the Black Panther." It's like, what the fuck? Like, it was that moment I tapped out, dude. Now it took me a long time to get back invested in the movie. It did, and I didn't love how it ended, but whatever. But that moment, man, I'm like, dude, you didn't even try to do it different. Like literally pick anyone else to be the Black Panther, and it would have made sense. M'Baku, Okoye, Nakia.
What did I say?
M'Baku.
Dude, what I said is like, why? Okay, they bring back people all the time, and I know that we hate whenever the fake death stuff. I know that, but like, I get it. So Wakanda Forever brought back like Killmonger, but who would have been a better Black Panther? A good Killmonger, or
not only that, dude. Think about it. Look at how dope it would be because like where you were talking about M'Baku, just think about it for a second. You had a character who you've already set up in the first Black Panther movie as a character who was like, no, I don't want part of this. We're going to do our own thing with the Jabari tribe, right?
Everybody hate me.
Oh no! Oh yeah, they're going crazy.
Sorry,
but no, like seriously, like it sucks because you have M'Baku, a character who was like, no, I don't want to be part of this. Me and the Jabari tribe, we're going to do our own thing. And then by the end of Black Panther 1, he comes back. Then we see him again in Infinity War, and he calls T'Challa brother. And then we see him come back in the fight in Endgame. Like, have Wakanda Forever is like, yeah, Chadwick passed. That sucks. There's nothing we can do about it. So what do? You go with, I mean, arguably one of the best performances of the year last year in Angela Bassett's performance. I mean, my God, that performance alone was fantastic. But, make no mistake, that was at the end of the day, out of those nitpicks, because I do think that's a nitpick, although a couple of those narratively didn't make any sense, I still thought the movie was serviceable and I thought it was quite good. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
great, but
Yeah.
and we'll
No,
talk
I
about Black
agree with
Panther.
that.
I contend. I've told Wes this before. I contend I like Black Panther more than most people in our circles because I raved about this movie after coming out, and we'll talk about it as we go. Anyhow, that's kind of my rant on Wakanda Forever. So, all right, Wes, what is your 25?
Wakanda Forever.
Oh my god,
I have mine
we
written. Guys, I
we
have mine written.
look,
So like
we were a lot
legit, I
closer than
have
I
mine
thought.
written.
He's got his written. He was ready. Man, you gotta. Oh God, I can't. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, all right. Look,
I told you from my top 20, like 25 to 15, it's like they could go either way,
is what
which
it
is
is. And
what it
I'm
is.
looking at phase 1 through phase 4, and I'm like, all these are so like, you know, Wakanda Forever. I'm gonna do it, man. I know we just talked about it, but I'm gonna go Guardians 3. I'm kidding. Guardians 2.
I was like, "Are you
I
kidding?"
was being facetious.
Oh,
No,
I brought it up to the
no.
screen.
Guardians 2 is my pick. Wes, you hear this, man. What is your thoughts on that? I mean, is that shocker for you? Like where do you kind of stand on that?
You want to know what my number 24 is?
What's that?
Just take a guess.
Just take a
What my
guess.
number
Oh,
24 is.
hang on. All right, I wanted to just give right quick a reason that was
You
there.
do.
I was trying to fix this. It was kind of jacked up.
Oh,
I wanted to kind of go on and here we'll do this. Duke. See that way we can kind of see a little
okay.
better.
All right.
All right, so Guardians 2 will be my
Take a guess what
25.
my number 24 is.
What's your 24? Well, I had to talk about my reason for Guardians 2.
Guess what my number 24 is.
Oh, Guardians 2. Dude, we're more neck and neck than I thought. Like
I
what?
was like, dude,
Sorry.
the only thing we've gotten like out of really order
That's
is
really
like
funny.
is like Black Widow is not in my top, is not in my lower half.
That's actually like really funny, dude. Like not lying. Because there we
So
go.
it's basically the same thing. Like Guardians 2, just good. It was a good movie. I'm not
And we
saying
talked
it's not.
about it
It's not,
last
you know what I
night.
mean?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last night, and we'll go ahead and kind of talk about that together because it's just right here. Is the comedy didn't work for me. Drax wasn't the destroyer that was kind of promised
Right.
in the first movie or as introduced in the first movie. But yeah, for me, Guardians 2 is at the number 25, and I contend it's a pretty good slot. After you get out the first three or four, I think all these start to become pretty good because I'm looking at the list. I got the list pulled up right here of all the MCU films in release order, and I'm like, because it's like, I don't know. And there are movies that I'm not going to lie, I didn't think you'd have Guardians 2 that low, but it is what it is. Wes, can you give me some reasons, some key reasons why you think it's a 24 for your list?
I mean the same thing. So I watched it yesterday before I went to go see it, right? And it just like, yeah, there was a really touching moment at the very end, and all that, and like the speech that Yondu gives Rocket is awesome. It's great, but the movie as a whole,
Mantis, watch out.
it was like it wasn't the best Guardians movie,
Yeah.
and I the soundtrack's amazing, but I didn't like. It's not that I didn't enjoy it. Like I do like the Guardians movies. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
nothing like that.
Yeah, and I think it's funny because we're in that, like I said, we're in that
We're in
position
that. We're in that now
where
where it's like it's still a good movie.
everything's
Like,
going to feel, everything's going to feel a lot neater. It's gonna feel a little more close as far as what's
yeah,
where. Let me see. Let me try to line that up. There we go. It's close enough. But no, I mean it. This film, like, it's not great, but it's not dog crap either. Guardians 2, I think, was quite serviceable, and Ego. We talk again. We just recap of what we talked about last night. Like, the humor maybe wasn't there. Mantis had a lot of good stuff. Her introduction I thought was good. Nebula. Okay, so what I loved the most about Guardians 2 was the interaction between Nebula and Gamora. Because after that, then we get Infinity War, Nebula, and Gamora, because it picks up kind of how we see them part ways in Volume 2. And the Yondu stuff was great. Him dying was great. And him telling Quill, he was losing a father figure, his conversation with Rocket. Like, there were a lot of good stuff in Guardians 2. And I wouldn't have any problem with people that would put it higher personally, because I would understand why. Just saying, for me, out of all the greatness and epicness that the MCU has been able to bring to us and Kevin Feige has been able to deliver, I have to settle with Guardians at number 25. And you have it at number 24. So we'll go ahead and jump into my 24 because I just can't catch a freaking break. I'm going to go ahead, and I know this is going to be a little, I'm not going to say controversial, but I think it's going to be a little shocking to some people. I'm going to go with Iron Man 3. This movie, I like Shane Black. I think Shane Black is please tell me you have that at 23. Is that pretty? No, you have a higher. Look, I liked, I've been very critical of the film's post Endgame, but at the same time, Iron Man 3 has a lot of problems to me. I think it has a lot of problems in the sense of, but you have Iron Man 3 on there, but so I'll just talk about Iron Man 3, why you knocked that out. But for me personally,
Sorry.
No, you're good. Iron Man 3, like Shane Black.
Oh, there it is.
You found it. It was a lot higher.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, Shane Black, he came in, he kind of done his thing. He kind of came in and it felt very Shane Black, right? But there was a lot of it that didn't feel like and while I think directors should give their own spin on things for sure, but at the same time, it didn't feel like the same in some parts, not every aspect, but it felt like in general, the Robert Downey Jr. version of Iron Man was different than the literally the other iterations. Because I look at Civil War Iron Man and I'm like, I'm able to identify that's the same Iron Man in Endgame. That's the same Iron Man in Iron Man 1. That's the same Iron Man in Iron Man 2, frankly. But Iron Man 3, sometimes, man, it feels like a different character, like altogether. Although there are some things in it I like, but I prefer to watch Iron Man 3 over Guardians 2 any day of the week. Just my personal opinion. But that's where I pick Iron Man 3. And you haven't picked that yet, Wes, so we'll kind of hold off on your thoughts on Iron Man 3. So what is your number 23 spot?
So my number 23 spot is Eternals.
Okay.
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 Not that it was a bad movie. I actually enjoyed it. I enjoy it more now watching it over and over again than what I did beforehand.
I think I've seen it 3 times, and I'm like,
or it would have been lower than this. To be honest, it probably would have been up there where like Iron Man 2's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But after watching it a couple of times, I'm like, actually, this ain't that bad. Like I like it. You know what I mean? But the thing is, what I factored into it, it's like there's no build up to anything else.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's no talk of it in this whole.
That's been one of my complaints.
Is like there's no like there's a big ass man in the ocean that nobody's talking about.
A planet, and not only that, no one's talking about the big thing. What's his name? The judge, the Celestial that pops up at the end. I forgot its name, but shows up and everybody knows what it is. Everybody can see. Oh my God, it's an alien. Blah blah blah. And it's like, I will come back to judge. And it's like, somebody just crapped herself, So why is nobody talking about that? Why is nobody talking about this weird, strange giant? It's like what we said, dude. What's Hawkeye gonna do? What's Kate Bishop gonna do to the Celestial with a bow and arrow? What's the Hulk gonna do to a Celestial? What's Moon Knight gonna do to a Celestial? Like, what are we doing with the Celestials? Like, give me some freaking answers.
Erisham
the judge. Thank you. Whoever said that.
Thanks, Hades. Good.
Thank you, Hades. Thank you.
So,
Um,
but yeah,
I about said
like
Artemis, and I was like, what? But yeah.
so I mean, like that's why, because there's no build up from that movie
Mm-mm,
after it was over.
there's
Now, if
not.
there was build up after it was over, or even during, you know what I'm saying? Like there was nothing, and I'm like, okay, well, it's a good movie, but there's no other build up for it, you
Right.
know.
And it felt very like, yeah, and it sucks
And some
because
of the character development in it wasn't very good, I don't think so. But I mean, it was a good movie. I'm not saying it was a bad movie, guys. Like it's not that. It's just
and by this point, I don't think Guardians 2 is a bad movie. I don't think Wakanda Forever is bad. I don't think Iron Man 3 is bad.
right,
I just had better fun watching the movies 23 and up than I
right.
did 24 and down, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at with that is all. Now, if we did like a whole top 50 comic book movies of all time, well, that's like a 4 hour stream, and we're gonna be talking for a while. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So going with my number 23, I've struggled with this a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. This is where it starts to become a little tricky for me because all these I'm starting to be like, okay, I like this one, I like this one, I like that one, So it's Wes. Mm, there are things in here that I enjoyed. What we're gonna tie again, man. I'm gonna go Eternals. I'm gonna go
Nice.
Eternals because, and for the reasons that we just talked about, is like I wanted to because we were hearing praises, and at the time she was the reigning undisputed champion, winner of the Academy Award from the previous year for Best Director in Chloe Zhao, coming in to do Eternals, the first Academy Award winner
Yeah,
to direct a Marvel film. Now, granted,
yeah.
she won it. She won the award after she had done making the movie, but it don't matter. She's still Academy Award winning director. So to have the reigning undisputed world, champion of the
Give her
director,
my belt. Give my
yeah,
belt.
yeah, get her belt. Like what Chloe's out. Like what's up? I contend that she delivered a beautiful movie. The visuals, the story, dude. Um, what's the girl that goes my what's her name? The girl that she's deaf and she runs fast. The super
Oh,
speed.
God.
Makari. Is it Makari?
Yeah, she's so
I
good.
think it's Makari, yeah. Even like her and Druig, I thought was played by Barry Keoghan, who we seen in most recently in Banshees of Inisherin and the Batman with Robert Pattinson. So um yeah, I thought Barry Keoghan was great in it. Brian Tyree Henry. So it is dropping some sick comments. Yeah, we're gonna get to those here in just a minute. Do we haven't forgot you? I haven't forgot you. It's for some reason popping up on my screen for some reason. I wasn't seeing it earlier. So I was kind of like, wait, what? All right, so Wes, that's kind of our thoughts on Eternals. What are y'all's thoughts on Eternals? Like, did y'all kind of go in kind of thinking the same thing? Like, oh my god, this is gonna be one of the best things we've ever seen. What are kind of some of y'all's thoughts as we go in that? All right, Wes, where's your 22 slot?
22 is Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3? Fair. Fair, fair, fair.
For basically all the reasons that you already said. You know
Really?
what I mean?
Like it felt like a Shane Black movie, but it didn't jive well with the rest of the MCU. Like, cause that's kind of how
Yeah.
I
Well,
felt.
well, that's my whole thing. It didn't go with at the time. It didn't go with what the MCU was like really doing. You know what I'm saying? Um, I mean, plus, like whenever Gwyneth Paltrow gets, the serum and all that, you know what I mean? Where's all that afterwards?
Right.
Do you get what
And he basically quits being Iron Man at the end of the movie. And then it picks up Avengers Age of Ultron, and there he
yeah,
is as Iron Man. It's like,
yeah,
what?
yeah.
So
But
but then
but
then
she has
again,
all these powers and stuff, and
right,
then like
right.
the only other time I've seen it is whenever she flies in with an Iron Man, a blue Iron Man suit in
Right.
Endgame,
But
and I'm like, wait, what? You don't need the suit, homie. You got powers.
well, um then again, what's her nuts in the movie? Dadgummit, why can't I think of her name? Not Gwyneth Paltrow. Or not her. Sorry, I'm thinking of the villain. Like even that guy was like came out of like
Guy
that didn't
Ritchie.
not Guy Ritchie, Guy Pearce. Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce. Sorry.
Guy Pearce. I do the same thing. I love Guy Pearce. Like love him like to death. And like I thought he did the best he could with the script he was given, and under the direction of a Shane Black. But for me, man, it didn't work for me at all. His villain, like it felt mediocre. It felt beneath. This movie felt beneath Shane Black. Like Iron Man 3. Like when I think of Shane Black, I don't think of Iron Man 3. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I do think of Iron Man 3. What I mean is his talent is
Better than Iron Man 3.
It surpasses Iron Man 3. Then again, Predators was not good either. Predators was bad. Did you watch that?
It was good.
Dude, that was not good. I would rather watch Iron Man 3 on repeat like 17 million times in a row than go watch Predators. That movie was not good. That movie was not good at all. All right, so let's move on to our number 2. Oh, that's me. That's me talking. So number 22. It's like, that's me. All right, so this is where it's gonna. God, Wes, this is where it's gonna start getting a little tricky, man. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna surprise Wes with this one, but I'm gonna go Captain Marvel. I've always said I like Captain Marvel a lot. I do. I like absolutely, especially as a 90s kid, seeing those 90s references, pop up all through the movie. Like I loved it. I'm sure things, Wes, that you've seen in there that maybe I didn't because you're a little older than I am. I was born in the early 90s, so there are some things obviously that I missed, but I love the blockbuster stuff. I love
didn't get
all
to be a 90s kid until like the late 90s.
Like, with the bold haircuts, the overalls, and the New Balance. Wasn't New Balance? What did we wear as kids? I don't remember.
Swiss. Oh my god!
We shopped at Macy's, or not Macy's, but at PC Penny, JC Penny.
JC Penny? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, Mom took me to JC Penny. It was bad. I hate to admit that. Did I admit that live? Yeah. Look.
JC Penny still. What are you talking?
Look, I like Captain Marvel. I thought it was fine. I had a good time with it. I wasn't too. What I think I loved most about Captain Marvel was the not Super Scrolls, the Scrolls. Those are not Super Scrolls, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. That were in the movie. I liked what they did with the Scrolls because they made you think that they were the villain, right? And then they kind of come in and they trip you up, and they're like, "Nope, just kidding. They're actually good guys. They're just misunderstood," and they really were. It was no bullcrap excuse. They were legitimately good guys just trying to get by and make it. So Wes, from that regard, I think that's my favorite thing about Captain Marvel. I see you don't have yours listed yet, so we'll wait to see what you think. But that's probably my favorite part of the movie. Like for real, I really loved how they handled the Skrulls. I did. Goose popping up. Okay, where I really rolled my eyes in this movie is you have Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson, badass as Nick Fury, Colonel Nick Fury, right? And his eyes cut up, right? And he even shows it in Winter Soldier and Captain America Winter Soldier and other films. He talks about, all these battles, he's just mysterious character, and it's like, oh, he's got both of his eyes in this trailer. We're going to see how he lost his eye, right? He gets scratched by a cat. That's your.
I thought it was hilarious, dude.
I'm not gonna lie, dude.
I thought it was great.
It would have been great had they not build it up, though. They kind of low key built it up. Wes, come on.
Really, I don't give a shit. No, it's my opinion here. Okay?
I'm talking about Captain Marvel, sir. I didn't, man. I legitimately was like, what? I did love how it tied right into Iron Man 1, though. I thought that was kind of cool. How Nick Fury took her call sign as the Avenger, and that's what he named the Avenger Initiative after. So I thought that was really clever. But yeah. Wes, that's my thoughts on Captain Marvel. General thoughts on it. I'm sure we'll talk about it more as we get to the Marvels, the sequel. So, Wes, what is your 21?
Oh, I was just saying, no, we won't.
No, we won't. He's like, no, we won't. What are you talking about? What's your 21?
My number 21,
Go for it. You won't hurt
Black.
my feelings. Black Widow?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, I kind of talked about it earlier. I didn't really remember. I know you were kind of bummed out, but obviously you have it way higher than I do. What's your
I
thoughts on
enjoyed
Black Widow?
I enjoyed it a lot.
Did
I
you?
really enjoyed Black Widow. My only like, it's not really a complaint. It's nothing like that. It's just like, you know, it wasn't higher than the other ones, but I thought it was better than the ones before this. You get what I'm saying?
I've
Because I like
that
the
medium, right? Because
yeah,
we're
and I like
now, yeah,
the
yeah,
comedy
yeah.
stuff, like with Florence Pugh and the whole like head thing. She was like, "What do you do you
That
do
was
the head
funny.
thing,
I
dude?
laughed. That was
Hilarious!"
funny. It
And then
was
she
funny.
lands and does like this. She's
She
like,
goes,
"Ugh."
she kind of shakes it off.
Yeah, it's like,
Um,
oh, awful.
yeah, look, there was a lot of like David Harbour. I thought was great as Yosef what was his name in the movie? Yosef or something like that. What was his name in the
Yeah,
movie? I couldn't remember, but I thought he's like it still fits. talking about his outfit. I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, and by the way, look, it pains me. My wife hates it when I say this, but I'm a huge Scarlett Johansson um, fanatic.
Mark.
Um, yeah,
You're
I have. If I was to meet Scarlett Johansson, that would make my dream complete. But yeah, Scarlett Johansson is amazing, and that pains me to put Black Widow that low because I did like the movie. I just didn't love it like I wanted to, like everyone else. But I don't have any intention of ever watching that movie ever again, to be honest. And really, that was kind
what?
of. I don't. I legitimately don't, man. Like I can go back and just YouTube scenes that I liked. Like the hair flip thing that you talked about. But it's very forgettable, to be honest. I'm gonna say it. It's forgettable. Blackwood is forgettable. I'm sorry. I can't help it. All right. So, Wes, you have any more thoughts on Black Widow before we move on?
No, I'm trying to find that guy's name. But it is what it is. You can go on.
All right.
You can do your 21.
So I about said level 21. My level 21 would have to be. We kind of talked about it a while ago, but Ant-Man, uh, and the Wasp. I don't think did I not put that? Yeah, yeah. Ant-Man and the Wasp, I think, is my number 21 because I know I'm shocking the world right now. I This movie definitely a step down from Iron Man 1. Far superior to Quantumania for sure. Every film on here is superior to Quantumania, but I really, really, really enjoyed Ant-Man and the Wasp West. Like this movie's, I thought was very well done. I thought the post-credit scene um, going right into what's it called? Infinity War. I thought was cool, and I thought it was clever how they released the movie after Infinity War, right? Because we've seen Infinity War, and then the next movie was Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it was like, ooh, how is this going to tie into Infinity War? And then the post-credit scene when Scott Lang goes in the quantum realm, and he's like, "Hey, all right, guys, it ain't funny. You can get me out." And he's in there for what we later found out to be 5 hours, and the rest is history. So I like Ant-Man and the Wasp. What I love most about the movie, and the first one we'll talk about here in a little bit, is his well, at least I will. You done freaking talked about it. Is his relationship with his daughter. There's a lot of stuff, and all my kids are daughters, all three of mine. So this movie really speaks a certain level to me, and I really love that kind of interaction with him and his daughter. So that is kind of my general thoughts on Ant-Man and the Wasp. Not too big on the villain though, like Ghost. Like Wes, I think we're seeing Ghost again in New World Order.
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. Thank you. So it'd be kind of cool to see her back again. Hopefully, she's done a little better this time. I did love seeing my boy Lawrence Fishburne back as, or not back, but in the MCU as Bill Foster. Thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, I like Ant-Man and the Wasp, but just didn't love it like I did the first one. Wes, what is your number 20 as we get into some good ones, man?
My number 20
What is your 20?
is going to be Guardians.
Guardians 1?
1.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What? Yeah, it's going to start getting a little tricky here. I'll just do that. Oh, whoops, sorry. Um, Oh man, you kind of caught me in for a surprise there. Wow.
Dude, it's like, but I told you, like, it's one of those where like things can be intertwined. Like,
True.
it's
You
just the way I felt today.
Hey,
Like,
that's yeah. And
you know what
tomorrow
I'm
or next
saying?
week, he could be like, "Well, Guardians would be a little higher."
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. So it's not
wow,
like I really love the movie. I just love
really?
these other ones that I have a little bit more.
Just
Sorry.
didn't, yeah, just didn't love it. I mean, and I feel that. And this is kind of the medium of the road, kind of like this isn't the bottom echelon of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, but it's also not in the top shelf like cornerstone MCU movies either. So that's kind of where I'm at with this kind of area right here. So that's kind of where I am. Just quick thoughts on Guardians One, man. Just some key things to take away from that before we move on.
Once again, the I mean the soundtrack's amazing. Number one, like
Sure.
that was the just great music on that first one. Um, but for the rest of, I mean, I loved the story. I loved everything about it, but like I I didn't like it as much as I did the other ones. I mean, that's it's so hard to like, you know what I mean? To kind of be like, this is why
And
it's number 20, but like this is why it's number 20 because I didn't
right.
like it as much as I did these other movies.
And I can understand that. It just Guardians One, and I'll talk about it here in a little bit, but yeah, it's definitely a little bit up there for me. Guardians One's quite fantastic. All right, so we'll move on to my number 20. This, like I said, this is kind of the middle of the road echelon kind of stuff with this, but I'm gonna go a little more recent. This one, I think I'm pretty solid in. I've kind of struggled with this one the last couple days as we kind of thought about our lists. I haven't really settled on a position literally until just now, but I think this is a good place to put it, just based off what I've put and what I'm going to put here in a bit as we get into the top 10 and top five. But my number 20 will probably have to be um, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I
Can
liked
you
it.
hear me out of this thing?
Yeah, I can
Out
hear you.
of my mic?
I can hear you.
Dude, it's turned green. I don't know. Sorry.
Everything's fine. I mean, I hear you messing with it, but I can hear you.
Sorry.
Chat, can y'all
It's
hear
like
us okay? No, you're
it's
good.
doing
I can hear
some
you. You're good.
crazy stuff.
You're all right. But yeah, Multiverse of Madness I think is going to land there for me. Um
Oh no.
that's where I put it. I didn't a step Multiverse of Madness was pretty solid, but you and I have already said on the stream recently that one of my biggest issues with Multiverse of Madness is like, look, you're supposed to have the Illuminati, it's supposed to be the most badass, like most powerful organization team ever, right? And they couldn't even take on Wanda. Like they couldn't even put up a fight. I get it; they were trying to set up her power level. I get that, but at the same time, she came in and just wrecked shop a little too easy. And as gruesome and as crazy as that was, borderline R rating. At the same time, it was like, really, like that easy, huh? Oh well.
Oh
But I
god.
love Sam Raimi, man. I loved his approach. There are things in it I love, from sound design, from the Doctor Strange with the evil Strange with the weird eye. I thought that was no pun intended, but I thought that was strange. And I don't know. I just felt it was kind of little bit of a miss, but I like it enough to put it in the 20 slot because there are things in it I love watching. I probably shouldn't love watching a villain go in there and wreck shop and unalive sorcerers, but I do love that Carmitage where she just comes in and just wrecks people's world. I thought that was a lot of fun. But that's my thoughts on Multiverse Madness. And again, it pains me to put it that low because while I'm a big Scarlett Johansson fan, I love Elizabeth Olsen. She's my boo. She just don't know it yet. All right, Wes, what is your 19?
My number 19
Yes, sir.
is the first Thor.
The first Thor. Ooh, we're getting some dangerous territory, man. That's not my 19. So what do you say to that? What's what why do you think that I mean, it's not that low, but at the same time, you're kind of putting it in the medium range of the MCU films. Why do you
because
put it there?
because for me it wasn't my favorite Thor movie. Um, which you can probably know what my favorite Thor movie is by now.
By this point.
By this point.
By this point.
But I don't know. Like that first Thor movie, I enjoyed it a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. Wife enjoyed it a lot more than me for reasons you guys know why. Chris Hemsworth, but I don't know, man. I feel like when like the fake hair, it just wasn't. It wasn't as real as real. You know what I'm saying?
I love the Shakespearean nature of the first Thor movie. Like that's what I loved about it. Is it was so like it's a movie about about a father and his two sons. They're both trying to earn his respect and love, but in two separate paths. And to me, that just speaks like that's Shakespeare, brother. That is some Shakespeare level shit. And it's in a comic book movie, and I ate it up, man. I ate that up. I love the first Thor movie. And it really set the foundation of what the Loki character, all he wants is his father to accept and love him. That's it. And Thor wants to do the same thing, but he wants to do it a different way. And that's what I think the big dynamic comes from, because Thor's wanting to do it one way, the same thing that Loki wants, but Loki wants to do it a different way. And I don't know, man. I get so giddy.
I mean, I get it, but
it just doesn't resonate.
But guess what?
Right? What's that?
This is my list. So
it does have your name on it. It does have your name on it.
It is what it is.
All right, so that's Wes's Thor for number 19. Mine will probably be a big shocker here, but yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna go Spider-Man. Far From Home. So this is Spider-Man Far From Home, the one with Mysterio, the one right after Avengers Endgame. This movie, look, I had a good time with. I thought Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio was a lot of fun. Tom Holland once again kills it as Spider-Man, and Tom Holland and Peter Parker. I thought the Zendaya. Now, while I do obviously have this lower than Spider-Man Homecoming, I will say that the Far From Home relationship that we see between Zendaya and Tom Holland was, I mean, they're dating now, obviously, but at the time, that might have been dating. I don't know at that time, but their chemistry, I thought, in Far From Home was a lot better than it was in Homecoming. It was a lot better in Far From Home and No Way Home than it was in Spider-Man Homecoming. Now I get it. Zendaya was kind of more of a background character. She wasn't really one of those side characters as she was very much so in the sequels. But in Homecoming, I thought she was, the dynamic wasn't there. And nor did it need to be. I'm just saying that's just one of the highlights for me of those two movies was that, that relationship was a lot better, I thought. So that's Far From Home for me. Yeah, like I said, I got a good kick out of it. A lot of good humor moments. One of my funniest parts where I laugh at the most in Far From Home is when, who is it that's trying to take a picture? Was it his teacher or another student? And Flash runs into the frame and punches him in the nuts. It's one of the funniest things in that movie. Because they're doing that montage of when they just get to wherever they were at. And where did they go? And what was that? What was that town?
New York?
No, they went overseas. I forgot where they went.
Oh yeah. Was
Prague or something? I don't know. I don't remember. Drop it in the chat if y'all know. I can't remember. But whatever country they were in. Yeah, he runs into frame and he hits him in the nuts. I thought that was a lot of fun. Yeah, Spider-Man Far From Home. Oh, I did love the J. Jonah Jameson, J.K. Simmons triumphant return as J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. Thought that was hilarious. Thought it was magnificent. All right, Wes, what is your 18?
My number 18 is the first Doctor Strange.
Really? That low?
Just wow, stop, man.
No, it's crazy, man. I'm gonna throw some more numbers in here while you give us some thoughts on to why that is so.
So the first Doctor Strange, number one, I didn't know a lot about it going into the movie theater, but I came out really enjoying the movie. I just like I don't know. So the first one I didn't like. I didn't really like the villain too much. But you know, and I get it. He's like learning his powers and doing these things. You know what I mean? But and Benedict Cumberbatch is amazing.
Oh, he's
Like
fantastic.
come on, dude. Like
He's
Sherlock.
literally
Oh
fantastic.
man, so good. But the movie wasn't bad. Like I said, dude, it's like all these are like interchangeable. It's just the way I felt today. I felt like Doctor Strange needed to be right there because I have other ones that like are more prevalent that I'm like, oh man, I really like this part in this movie better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I can see to that. Are there some? What's your biggest negatives? Can I ask that? What's your biggest negatives of Doctor Strange one?
Doctor Strange one. Um, I would say my biggest negatives would have to be like I didn't really enjoy the villain. Um, I thought he was mediocre at best. Um, and I get it. It's just it's an origin story. He wasn't meant to be like just like um the one from last night. You know what I mean? From Guardians. Like he's not meant to be a big, powerful whatever. You know what I mean? But at the
Right.
same time, you know that and the love story. I don't care about. Like, I didn't care about that. You know what I mean? Like, and what's her name? Rachel
Oh, McAdams.
McAdams. Yeah,
Yeah,
Rachel
I thought she was
McAdams. Like,
good. I thought she
she
was
was
good.
good, but like, I just didn't care. Like, I didn't like. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't make me care enough about it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh well,
I
all
feel
right.
that.
Like,
Feel that.
so that was my negatives for it.
That's your
Everything else
negative
was
for it.
cool. You know?
It just hit, and yeah, like I said, it's gonna be a little tricky as we move forward. My light bet fell on my head, so if you see me getting knocked out, you know why. It started coming down like what? Yeah, Doctor Strange, lot. I mean, I won't say how much, but it is significantly higher on my list than it is on yours. But that's why we do this, man. That's why we do this. It's fun to have that interaction, that difference. I don't know, man. I'm struggling with this a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at the release list of, from phase one all the way to the multiverse saga. I'm looking at everything and I'm like, there are things in here that I prefer over others. And it's like, so what do we do? Where do we put stuff? And
Hey, why don't you tell them what number 18 is? Kind of go over a little bit of these comments, just a
oh yeah,
little bit of them.
yeah,
I've got to go do
you
that
gotta do that
for.
thing. All right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead and do that. Um,
Sorry, guys.
no, you're
So
good, man.
hold on. Let me explain.
You're
So
good.
for you guys that have been here with us for a while, like 80s Kid, Paramedia, Kevin Davis sometimes, like, and like I know Adam watches sometimes, like my buddy from work, but like, and he knows. But so my son has a lot of medical issues. We spent over 500 days in the hospital a few years ago. So, but he has to get this stuff every night at 11 o'clock. It's called TPN. It's a it's basically liquid IV nutrition, and he's got um, like a central line to his heart. So every night at 11, I have to hook him up to this stuff, and I've got to go like do syringes and all this other stuff into this bag and put it to a pump. So that's why I'm gone for like 10 minutes because I've got to go set all this stuff up, then hook him up to that so that he could have it overnight and all that. So whenever I leave, I apologize. It's just this is stuff that's got to get done. So, but thank you guys for staying with us and like bearing with me while I do this. I just feel bad because it's just like, oh, he's got to do something with his kids. So it is very important, and this is why I've got to do it. But I just wanted you guys to know, kind of get that off my chest, so you guys know a little bit more about me. But cool, Gabe, I'm gonna let you take over. I'm
Yes,
gonna
sir.
run do this, and I will be back in a minute.
All right, man. All right, sounds good. Yeah, and Wes, that by the way, that's awesome, man, that you were able to say that. You certainly didn't have to. I'm sure these guys would greatly appreciate that. And best thoughts and prayers and wishes to your kid. Doing a lot better as opposed to where he was at a couple years ago. So definitely doing a lot better, getting the treatment he needs, and all that kind of good stuff. So it's really good to that he's doing a lot better. So with all that being said, while Wes does that, I'm going to take a quick break here in just a couple minutes, but I do want to go through some of these comments if y'all want to indulge me for just a moment. We had a little disconnect in the chat here, but I think I was able to get it recovered. So let me go ahead, and there goes Wes right there. We'll kind of minimize that, and let me just bear with me, guys. Again, I hate doing this. Y'all know I do, but this is something that's gonna have to get done because it's part of what we do. All right. So, why is what? I lost my chat box. All right, but yeah, y'all drop your comments about any of the movies we talked about or anything like that, and we will talk about it here in just at the end of the video. But I'm going to go through some of y'all's stuff here. So let me boom. All right, we'll go here and here, and y'all just bear with me right quick. All right, so let me do it like this. Shrink it up here. There we go. Can y'all see that okay? How does that look? Does that look good? I think it looks fine. All right. So let's go ahead and all right, I'm kind of blocked off, but you know what? Screw it. Whatever. Y'all can see it. Y'all get the gist. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into some of this here. I wish there was a different way to do this. Y'all know I definitely would. So yeah, there was a little disconnect, so I wasn't able to get it where I want to. Like I said, there was a disconnect. So if I missed your chat, I do apologize, but this is there we go. All right, so 80s Kid starts with Thor 4 Thor 4 stinks. I mean, I hate that. I hate that you say that, man. That sucks. Not gonna lie, that sucks. But you know what? It's all subjective, and it is what it is. 80s Kid follows it up with Quantumania was awesome because of Kang, but they messed up quite a bit with the most powerful Kang getting killed off. Typical behind the curtain Marvel. Yeah, y'all heard my complaints about Ant-Man Quantumania. Definitely my worst or my worst rated MCU film. Didn't do a lot for me. I actually did not like them. It was the first MCU film I didn't like, and that's why it is at number 32 on my personal list. And I hate that it's that low because I love Jonathan Majors despite all the controversy going on and the alleged assault and all stuff like that. Again, we talked about last night's stream, but we hope all that is able to be cleared up. We hope that no one was hurt, obviously, but in the event of that he's found guilty and he did do those things, then I mean that sucks, and it does, and he'll have to pay for that. But with all that being said, I do like Jonathan Majors as an actor, as a performer. I do like him a lot. Like I said, Lovecraft Country, Creed 3, I thought he was good as Kang, and he's going to be the face of Marvel here in the next couple years if all this stuff plays out like normal. So we'll just have to see where it goes. All right. So 80s Kid follows it up with Ant-Man and Wasp. I'm assuming that's what you're saying was pointless. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. Like, did you really think it was that bad? Like, it's not that bad. Wes kind of was being a little facetious there with the thank you, 80s Kid. So yeah, no, you both of y'all are wrong. It was not pointless. It was a lot of fun. 80s Kid says, I wish we got Hank and Jen instead of the new people. Yeah, I could agree to that. 80s Kid again, Wakanda Forever is at number 30. That low. Wow. Okay, so I wouldn't put it that low. I mean, y'all see where I put it. But Wakanda Forever certainly wasn't that low. I liked Wakanda Forever. There were things in it I liked enough where I was able to go, despite my thoughts on the movie, despite my negativity toward the movie, this is what worked, and it ultimately comes out on top. There was just some things that really, really bugged me. And it's not the fact that Shuri's a woman. It has nothing to do with that. I would have been completely okay if Okoye ended up Black Panther, or Nakia was Black Panther, or M'Baku was Black Panther. Literally anyone else in the movie. But no, they chose to go with Shuri. And you know what? They I wasn't thrilled by the end of the movie, but at the end of the day, it was still a solid film. And Ryan Coogler did the best he could. I thought. I just wish he would have picked a freaking different person. All right, Black Widow was okay, but it's at 29. That's your 29. Okay. Spider-Man: Far From Home is set at 28. Wow, that's a lot lower. I thought it'd be in the minority, or I am in the minority, I guess, with that. I think I have it set a lot lower than what I've personally seen people do it, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Eternals is 27. Wow. So 80s, you didn't really like Eternals? That one didn't work for you? Quantumania. Oh, okay. Never mind. You just fix it. Quantumania 27. Nope. Quantumania stays at 26. All right. Make up your mind. I'm kidding. Yeah. Quantumania. Yeah. It's the worst one for me. 80s Kid follows it up. Thor 2 at 25. Yeah. I mean, that's about, I think, where we had it as well. Iron Man 2 at 24. Iron Man 3 at 23. I mean, I wouldn't put them next to each other. Like, there are some films that I like between those, but I don't blame you either, because Iron Man 3 is a very acquired taste. It's definitely a different type of film. It doesn't feel, like I said, like, while you do have Robert Downey Jr. back as Iron Man, obviously, while you do have him back as Tony Stark, all that kind of good stuff, I can't help but to feel, and maybe I'm wrong for this, I don't know, but it's just how the movie hits me. I feel that the character of Tony Stark feels like a different character than the Tony Stark we see in literally any other iteration. Or not iteration, I should say, but his I don't know what I'm trying to say. His not appearance, but his oh, what the word I'm trying to say. Anyhow, in any other movie that he's in, right? Whether it's Spider-Man Homecoming, the Avengers movies, Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, he popped up at the post-credit scene of Incredible Hulk, like that, all those movies feels like the same character, right? Because we see the arc through the movies, we see all that good stuff. But with Iron Man 3, while yes, you were able to identify that, yes, this is the same, Tony Stark, I couldn't help the way the script was and the way it was directed and the way he had, Shane Black had directed Robert Downey there was no, I don't know, it just wasn't there for me. To me, it didn't feel like the same character. And to me, that kind of bummed me out. All right. So, Ant-Man is at 22. Wow, that low? Really? What's y'all hating on Ant-Man for? What the crap's the matter with y'all? Thor at 21. Oh my God. All right, listen. I'm going to talk about Thor later. I freaking love Thor 1. I've already said one of my, probably my biggest reason for loving it is because of the fact that it is a father story, about his sons and all that stuff. And, that, to me, that works. That works. And it sucks to see people put it that low, but I get it. I'm being facetious, 80s. I'm being facetious, and I do apologize. I'm just having a little fun, okay? All right, so Incredible Hulk at 20. That makes sense. I mean, I can see people putting it there. Like, I thought it was quite good. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness at 19. Okay, so we're getting in the middle of the road there. Captain Marvel at 18. Doctor Strange at 17. No, Black Panther is 17. Doctor Strange 16. Gotcha. Black Panther that low? My goodness. No, it is not that low, my friend. Spider-Man Homecoming at 15. Thor Ragnarok at 14. Age of Ultron at 13. Spider-Man No Way Home at 12. Iron Man at 11. Captain America Civil War at 10. Captain America Winter Soldier at 9. Captain America First Avenger at 8. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 at number 7. Ooh, that's quite high, my friend. That is quite high. Winter Soldier, I could see about that. Civil War at number 10. Wow, my friend, that is low. That is low. I think y'all are going to be surely surprised. Shang-Chi at number 10. Number 5, Avengers Infinity War. Yeah. Avengers Endgame at number 4, Marvel's The Avengers at number 3, number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, and Guardians Volume 3 at Guardians of the Galaxy at 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 at number 1. My goodness, what a list. What a list. I don't remember every MCU movie right now, so I'll give my top 10 for right now. Yeah, Pyramid, yeah, definitely drop that in the comments if you haven't already. And I'm going to take just a quick second and take a quick break if y'all will indulge me for just a second. But I will take the chance to go ahead. If you're watching this live, right before we go on break, please, while Wes is out doing his thing, he'll be right back here in just a couple minutes. Give me a second to go use the bathroom and refill my drink. I am dying here. I was so sick over the weekend, had to recover, so my throat kind of not where it needs to be right now, and talking kind of hurts at the moment. So I'm gonna get a little refill. We're gonna bash out the rest of these things. I'm at number 18. Wes is at number 17. We're gonna get back into it here in just a moment. But if you are watching this live, we are ranking the MCU films from 32, the worst, all the way to what we think is the best in the top 5, top 3, and our personal favorite as number 1. This is going to be a little interesting. I think Wes is going to have a significant different top 5 than I will, so I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And if y'all want to participate, for sure, drop in the comments if you're watching this. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. And that is every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays at 10, or between 9:30 and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to check us out. Also tomorrow, we're going to go live again tomorrow. So y'all go ahead and converse amongst yourself. If y'all have any questions about anything, we'll kind of mix it in with a little Q&A as well. So if y'all want to drop any questions, just random, totally okay with that too. Or if you want to stick it to the, MCU films, totally fine as well. Whatever you think, drop in the comments and we'll talk about it here in a moment after we get done with the list. And, once we get done with that, and we'll go through y'all's comments. So appreciate your patience and indulgence as we go do that. So please just give us just a moment and we will be right back. All right. See y'all in just a moment as soon as I can find my break. All right. Thank you guys. And we'll be right back. All right, guys. So we are back. Thank you again for your patience and indulgence as we had to take a little pee break and Wes had to do his thing, but we are back and we are good to go. So let's go ahead and steamroll through these, my friend. All right. So left off with Wes's number 19 at Thor, 18 Doctor Strange. My 18 is going to be, oh Lord, I think I'm going to go with Ant-Man. The first Ant-Man. I like Paul Rudd. I like what he was able to do with the franchise and what he was able to do with the character. I really love the first Ant-Man. It felt like a refresher in the movie or of a movie in the MCU, and it feels good. At that point, it felt good to kind of go back and forth between like world saving event to saving the neighborhood, saving the little guy. No pun intended. So I thought that was a lot of fun, and we kind of talked about Ant-Man earlier. So yeah, not really much to say. I mean, other than it's just such a blast seeing Paul Rudd on screen. Just any excuse to watch him is fine by me. All right, Wes, what's your number 17?
17 is Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Oh, okay. All right. So I went ahead and kind of talked about that a while ago. What are your some of your general thoughts of that one?
Same thing. Like I really like Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio. I enjoyed the film. I think that it was very well put together. I liked it a lot. The emotional scene, when he's about to shoot himself or whatever,
sure.
you know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
was super good. But Jake Gyllenhaal's good in just about everything. Like so,
True. You're not wrong.
like I said, I really really liked the film. It wasn't on my top 10, man. Wasn't the best Spider-Man film, I didn't think either. So
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about No Way Home here shortly. All right, so
yeah,
my number 17, and we're almost neck and neck right here. I know I put Far From Home a minute ago, but I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I'm gonna say Spider-Man Homecoming. Oh no, I messed up. Spider-Man Homecoming I thought was a lot better. I thought was, it had a lot of wiggle room as far as here, let me try to duke. Um yeah, Spider-Man Far From Home was able to bring in a lot of good moments with, it had that heartwarming moments with Tom Holland and Spider-Man and Iron Man and Happy and just that whole
yeah,
interaction. Like I love that. The reason I have it that low though, to be honest, is because they made him Iron Man Jr. And that's one of the one things that like really bothers me about Spider-Man in the MCU. And when I'll give my thought on No Way Home, I'm gonna flip that whole comment, like ball it up, throw it out the window, and go from there. So, but from where we stand right now, that's where I land Spider-Man Homecoming at 17, just because there's so like what's rest on this list are movies that I think are far superior, especially as we creep in the top 15, 10 to 15. So, Wes, what is your number 16?
16 is going to be Captain Marvel.
Okay, okay. Oh, how can I forget? Michael Keaton, dude, like him as Vulture was freaking amazing. Like it was
Yes.
great. But yeah, anyway, one of the biggest audible gasps I've heard in a long time when he shows up at the girl's dad's house and he tries to take her out to prom and she's like, and it's dad and it's
Yeah.
Michael Keaton as Vulture and he opens the door, he's like, hey Pete, and you're like, like everybody was like, oh my god. So it was like everybody sucked the air out of the room. It was crazy. So but yeah, that would be my 17. So you said Captain Marvel. I know we kind of talked about that earlier, and tell me, why do you like the way they done Nick Fury's eye?
I really enjoyed it, man.
Look,
Like
that's
they built
fine.
it up, and then for him to like be like,
Oh,
for him to be such a badass, and then it's like, oh, but it wasn't a cat, dude. It was a flurgan,
it was a
so it doesn't
flurgan,
count.
flurkin,
Doesn't
yeah.
count because it's an actual alien, man.
I
I thought
get
about that.
that.
Well, nope, you
Yeah,
shut your face.
no,
I was I was in there doing his TV, and I was like, you know what? He didn't get scratched by a cat. It's a flurgan,
It's
and
a Flerken.
it can mess people up. Okay, so he got scratched by a flurgan, and it's an alien, and it counts because it was a badass. So I like that because of that. But the main reason I liked Captain Marvel so much is because I was an actual '90s kid who grew up through the '90s from
Ouch.
'90 to 2000.
Ouch.
Oh, dude, I was born in '86. Get
Ouch.
over it, homie. Like, but like all the like '90s references, the '90s music, the aesthetics of everything. Like, I was just like, oh man, I remember wearing that. I remember doing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I actually do. You
Yeah.
were like 4, so I mean,
Yeah, I was quite young. I was quite young, not gonna lie, not gonna lie.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
your main years were in the early 2000s.
true, but I do remember a lot of that stuff though. Like I remember that. And like I said, I mean, you're gonna catch more maybe nods in that movie than I did, but there were some I definitely caught on and was like, "Oh my god." So I thought
Yeah, of
that was pretty
course.
neat.
I mean,
But
of course, dude. I'm
yeah,
teasing,
just
but
as
it's
a nostalgic thing, it's it's a lot of fun. I like and didn't they in an interview didn't they weren't going to use Blockbuster F. Did they what was the stand what was the cardboard standee that they used in the movie? Was it
True
Block
Lies.
True Lies. Okay, so I knew it was Arnold
That's Arnold
Schwarzenegger. Yes,
Schwarzenegger.
I knew that was Arnold Schwarzenegger related. So I think in a interview, I think they were going to use Terminator 2 or The Mask. I couldn't remember which film they were going to use instead, but I mean all those films are I think fantastic. Terminator 2,
Yeah.
The Mask, True Lies. Dude, I fucking love True Lies. It's amazing. Another JC movie, by the way. True Lies is awesome. All right, so my 16 is Wes. I think you're going to be a little surprised, and as a first, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it is a first for Wes and I as we come through here. But I'm going to go ahead. Well, no, I lied. I lied. Sorry, no, 15. Screw it. We'll go ahead and so I was wrong. I'm sorry. I'm going to save it for 15. But right here, I'm going to go ahead and call Doctor Strange, and I had a good time with Doctor Strange. At number 16, Doctor Strange. I love the setup. I love the character. I love how damaged the character was. What puts the film in almost the top 15 for me, which would be that upper middle part echelon of the MCU films, is Dormammu wasn't as cool and as MCU has had their issues with villains. Like, yeah, we've had Thanos, yeah, we've had Killmonger, yeah, we've had Loki, yeah, we've had blah 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 blah. I even like High Evolutionary and Guardians 3, but Doctor Strange really suffered from that, amongst other films on this list, but it suffered from the unfortunate
Okay,
bad.
so the same thing as me.
What's that?
Like the villain was not, you know.
Oh yeah. The villain for me did not work in this one, and you and I had this pretty close. It was only two ways, so to be be right there. I think you and I are pretty close, and we have a couple that are certainly off, but I think that's pretty interesting. That I think most people can agree actually that this film kind of flows in that kind of middle top part of the MCU. Like it's not like Iron Man, like it's not Black Widow. It's not Dark World. It's not Quantumania, but because it's actually good. Like Doctor Strange is a
Yeah.
good movie, and I love watching it. I love watching him learn and using the time stone and all that kind of stuff. I thought all that was fun, and the magic, dude. I love the moves he does. It's awesome. All right, Wes. What, before I nerd out, what is
Damn.
your? I have a lot of Doctor Strange comics, by the way, and I actually have a tattoo of him right up here. All right, what is your number 15?
Avengers: Age of Ultron.
We just tied. Oh my
Did
god!
you really?
Yeah,
No
we
way.
did. Yeah, we did.
Yes. All right.
Because see, I was thinking, and I was like, I'm gonna put it at 16, and I'm like, no, I meant to put Doctor Strange first, and then Age of Ultron. That's why I had that brain fart a while ago. That's hilarious. Wow, I did not. That's why I said a while ago. That's why I said, yeah, I don't think we're gonna agree on this one. But Wes, I'm gonna throw it
Age
to you,
of
man.
Ultron, man.
Age of Ultron. I'm gonna throw it to you. Why do you place the first Avengers movie that low because look, for the record, I love
That's
all
not
the
the first Avengers movie.
No, I meant the first Avengers movie on the list.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Because it's not as good as the other Avengers movies.
That's a
But
pretty good reason. That's a good reason.
but no, like we've talked about this before. Every time we've watched it, it just gets better and
Does get
better
better.
every
It
time
does.
you watch it. I'm like, oh shit, like this is a really good movie, man.
Yep.
And like, what's his name? Oh my god, oh, he was on The Office and Blacklist. The guy who plays Ultron.
Oh, James Spader, dude, the
James
amazing
Spader.
James Spader.
Oh
Yeah,
my god, so good.
yeah, man.
So good.
Yeah.
The storyline's great. And I just like I enjoy the movie every time I watch it.
Same.
But you know, if it's on, I'll stop and watch it, and I'll watch that movie. But it's not something that I'm going first to go pick out of the Avengers, if that makes sense. Do you know what I'm saying? If I had a list of Avengers movies,
Right.
that's not the first one I would pick. Do you get what I mean?
Not the first one. Yeah.
So,
I feel that. It definitely gets better as you watch it. Like from the barn, or not the barn,
man,
but
you get like Hawkeye. You get like
the whole Hawkeye stuff. Like, oh, that's great. And when they're at Stark Tower or Avengers HQ, when they're just kind of partying, having a good time until Ultron wrecks the place, and the Bruce versus Tony and the the morality factor. Should we do this? Should we not? And then like the whole Ultron aspect and Vision, our introduction of Vision, the first other than Odin and Thor, but the other individual, the first individual we see
the first time
picking up Mjolnir.
It was yeah. Oh,
had
man.
Paul Bettany come and now I have a very good memory of this movie in the theater because I was in the Army at the time and I got to watch this. I don't know how many weeks before it came out publicly. It wasn't long. It wasn't like 2 months or anything like that. It wasn't that soon, but it was definitely before it was out, right? Before it might have been the same week as the premiere, like the world premiere. So people had seen it, but they played it early for us from what I remember, I think, if I have those details right. And I remember them showing us up to the movie, and the movie starts playing, and everyone's excited. Everyone's dressed up, and like, it's kind of like a mini Comic-Con, right? We're all watching it on base, and they start playing the movie, and we know how it starts. It starts at I don't know where they're at. I'm assuming. No, it starts in Wanda's hometown. What's it called? Home country. Why can't I think of it? The Ultron blows it up at the end. That country. Oh my god! Why can't I think of it? Sokovia.
And then that's,
not Sokovia.
Sokovia.
Is it Sokovia?
Maybe, I don't know.
I think it is
what
Sokovia.
I do know, this is where you get to see Wanda.
Yep, Wanda and Quicksilver
use her power in Quicksilver for the first time.
That is true.
Actually using their powers. So,
and I thought that was.
I mean, that's such a good thing too. You know what I mean? So,
well, the movie starts. Yeah,
but who would have known that she would make such an impact? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, and that's funny too because, like I said, so when the movie starts and we're on Sokovia, I'm pretty sure that's what that was, but everything was in 3D, and all of us were like, but it played the first like 15 minutes of the movie. We already seen most of that fight sequence in 3D, but it wasn't supposed to be in 3D. None of us had glasses, so it all looked crappy, And I hate 3D anyway. I think 3D go to in this dark room to watch a movie, throw this dark tint screen over your eyes. Like, what? So I thought that's stupid. I don't like 3D.
It comes at you at some point.
I get that, but it's stupid. It's a gimmick.
It is.
I don't like 3D.
I don't either.
Remember when 3D movies or 3D home movies were a thing? I know they still exist, but I remember when Walmart was like, "Oh, it's the new 3D TVs."
Yeah,
it's like didn't do too well. Anyway,
but for me, like with me wearing glasses, it sucked. Like,
well, that
those
too.
movies were awful because you had to put those over top of your already glasses, and it's just like
you're already uncomfortable.
It's dumb. Anyway,
it's not very good. No, you're good. But yeah, I had a good experience with the movie. I liked it, but like you said, we both can agree this is a movie that grows on us each and every time we watch it, and I think it's fantastic. And Wes, I think it's about time that I go back and watch Age of Ultron. Actually, all right, man. What's your number 14?
My number 14 is Doctor Strange Multiverse
of Madness. You didn't really talk about it a while ago when I was kind of giving my thoughts, but what are your general thoughts on Age of Ultron?
Um,
Or
Sam
sorry,
Raimi.
Multiverse.
I love Evil Dead. I love horror as a genre, and this was like a to me it was the closest thing Marvel's going to get to a horror movie. And I really enjoyed it because you can totally see Sam Raimi in this film. You know what I mean? From
Yeah.
whenever she's walking, like the main thing that just pops out in my head every time is when Wanda's walking through the house and she sees her sons and everything, but she looks down at the coffee cup and you just see the waves in the coffee cup. Like
Yes.
that's a total Sam Raimi thing, dude.
That was.
Like I was just like, oh, dude. And like Doctor Strange as a zombie. Come on, man! Like I love that stuff, dude.
I loved it
Like,
in the trailer, and I loved it just as much in the movie. I thought that was dope, and I thought, yeah, definitely a lot of fun. And I
yeah.
really liked that movie. I did. I thought
So
it's great.
I enjoyed this
Good
movie
stuff.
probably more than some, but like
More than you should.
I really, really like this
It's
movie.
good. Like, yeah, okay. So 80s Kid did clear it up. It is Sokovia. Yeah. I mean, I thought it was great. Multiverse Madness. Yeah. I mean, like, I loved it for the moments that I seen in it, but I ended up going, it's kind of a letdown, just because it didn't feel like Wanda needed to die. Like that's what she deserved, but it
She
kind of
didn't
felt.
die.
No, I agree to that.
She
She did
didn't
not
die.
die. No,
Dude, the
she did
last
not
little
die.
thing whenever it came on and then it was like you see the
True.
little
Like they showed us that on
bump.
purpose. And it's like, come on, really?
They showed you that on purpose. Dude.
They
Come
they
on.
did. All right, Wes. I think you're gonna probably punch me through the screen right here. So my 14, and I love this movie. This is the movies that I start loving.
Oh my
Shang-Chi.
god, dude! At
Shang-Chi.
14,
I had
It's
a
okay.
great time with Shang-Chi. I had a
It's
great
okay.
time with Shang-Chi.
Mine's not too far down.
but look
It's not too far down for me.
But look at what we have left, and it's like,
I know.
but yeah, Shang-Chi would be my number 14. Wes, I mean, well, I guess we'll talk about yours here in a moment, but yeah, Shang-Chi. So the character came out, and I really like Simu Liu, and Kim's Convenience, and the roles he's played, and I've liked the actor for a few years now. I've been following him and been really liking him. And once he was cast, I'm like, cool. I like the character. I have several comics of him. I kind of knew the character, kind of like Moon Knight. Like I didn't really know the character, but I knew who he was. So seeing him on the big screen, I thought the movie delivered. I thought dude, I forgot about that when we were talking about villains a while ago. His dad, dude, played by the amazing Tony Leung, is definitely one of the best villains of the MCU. I completely forgot about him, and I can't believe I did. I mean, there's just so many, right? But I thought the aspect between him and the conflict between him and his father in the movie, I forgot his name in the movie, but I thought Aquafina, it's Aquafina, right? Is that Aquafina in the movie? Yeah, I thought she was the comedic relief. Thought she was great. And one thing I really liked about the movie is they didn't, because movies tend to do this, especially movies like this, not just comic book movies, but that kind of tone of a movie. They kind of set it up. Oh, you have this main male character and the next main character is female. Well, let's have them get together. Well, they didn't do that with this. Like they are legit friends,
Legit, like best
nothing
friends.
more. Yeah, and I
Love
thought
it.
that was special, and I thought that was really cool. And I think that would have ruined it if they ended up kissing each other or something. I'd been like, what? They come out of nowhere. But yeah, I had a great time with Shang-Chi. I know that kind of surprised you, but that's where I placed Shang-Chi. What is your number 13, my friend?
Oh, you're gonna hate me.
Oh no.
You're gonna hate me.
What you got?
You're gonna hate me. You're gonna hate
Captain
me.
America.
Civil War. You're gonna hate me.
What?
Yeah, dude.
What? Why?
Just because that wasn't my. I don't know, because that's what I felt, man. I told you you're gonna hate me.
That fucking low?
Yeah, dude, that fucking
Good
low.
lord. What the F, bro? Come
Sorry,
on, man. You have to give me some reasons why. Because I can't wait to talk about this here in a minute. Well, why? But why though?
Because I didn't like the fact that the villains were fighting against each other over something stupid. I didn't like that. I didn't, and that's just my personal opinion. I didn't like that at all.
Okay, so I will
So
say I do the Baron Zemo character, or Helmet Zemo in the comics. Baron Zemo in the movie. I get what you're saying. It was kind of, but the point of it was whether the difference in people's, people talk about that character and what role did he play in the movie. Look, make no mistake, this character didn't need to be in the movie. These things that unraveled at the end of the film, and I'll talk about it when I pull up Civil War here in a bit. Make no mistake, that the events of what we seen at the end of the movie ends up with Tony and Cap fighting each other. That was all going to happen anyway, with or without Zemo. That was all bound to happen. So that character didn't need to be there. He just expedited the process. He just kind of accelerated everything, right? So all that stuff was going to happen
antagonist,
anyway.
man.
Antagonist, bro. But I did think it was so clever that he was able to come in and do what he did at that moment, at the level of what he did. I thought was clever. And they obviously have plans for him in the future.
Don't get me wrong. This is a mini Avengers movie. I get that. Because, I mean, this is the first time that you see...
Well, dude, we're almost in our top 10 MCU. I mean, so there's going to be some bangers on here.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing, Black Panther for the first time. You're seeing Spider-Man at that point. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it's not a bad movie. I don't know. I didn't like the fact that they were all fighting against each other. It's just my personal thing. It's just a personal thing for me. I didn't enjoy it. I
feel that, man. I feel that.
So
I don't
that's why I said you're gonna kill me.
And you did shock me though a little bit there, man. You did shock me a little bit. All right, so my 13 is going to be a little. Look, I hate to do it because this is where I start to feel the pain, but we are creeping up at what, we are creeping up toward the top 10. It's going to be difficult, but I'm going to go same trilogy. Okay. Same trilogy, different movie. I'm going to go with the first film. Just so we're clear, Captain America 1. I love this movie. I do. This movie, man, Captain America 1 is like Tommy Lee Jones, have, Bucky's in there, minimal amount of time, but Bucky's in there, Hugo Weaving as Red Skull. Like this film it delivers every aspect. And I liked Red Skull as a villain. Like he was more mustache twirling than anything, but at the same time, like I really loved his performance too. So it was like, but I did. I legitimately love Captain America 1, and I think it's underrated. I do. I think it's an underrated comic book movie. I know I'm putting it at 13. I get that, but I'm going to give you all legitimate reasons why I have films in my top 10. But this is a movie where I think, it was rough for me to think that. And when I came out of the theater, I love this movie, and I even have the 4K Steelbook in here, and it's fantastic. What can I say? But that is Captain America number 1. I love that movie so much. Excuse me, indigestion. But Wes, what is your number 12?
My number 12 is Shang-Chi.
Oh, okay. So we weren't too far. We were just two away. Two away. Pretty much the same thoughts, or do you have anything to add?
Same thoughts. No, like same thoughts. I really enjoyed this movie so much, man. Like just the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon feel that it had whenever they're fighting each other. The
That's
mom
true.
and dad. That's awesome to me. Like I love those films, and I love the those kung fu films and stuff like that. Like those are really cool too. But like it had all that and more. It had dragons, bro. Come on, dude. You had dragons. You had the foo dogs. You had
and see, I thought the end was where it started to
and stuff.
Yeah, the end started to lose me a little bit, but it was still kind of cool to see that stuff. Just my opinion.
Like seeing the land where they had like the foo dogs and like all those mythical animals and like, oh, bro, I thought it was awesome. But
that was awesome.
I like that culture.
That's a good pick. Well, yeah, I mean, so we're almost on the same page of that. I'm going to go with the first Thor film. I said it before. My main reason for loving Thor, the first one, is it's about a father and his two sons, each of them, Loki and Thor, trying to prove their, trying to get their acceptance of their father, but different ways. And I think that that just speaks so many volumes. And to have a filmmaker like Kenneth Branagh come in and do what he was able to do with this, mythology, with comic book movie, dude, it's just so good and so rich, and that storytelling is what I want in my comic book movies. I don't always want, like, as much as I love Endgame, and I'll talk about Endgame here in a little bit. I love that last battle, but most of Endgame was fan service. Most of that movie was fan service, like it or not. That's what it was. Sue me. So Thor is I know it's going to sound weird because there's rainbow bridges and teleportation and all kinds of stuff, but there's a bit of a groundness to Thor that I thought worked, and it felt real. It felt believable. So I was able to suspend my disbelief with Thor, and I thought the storytelling alone was fantastic. I was able to see through the veneer of a comic book movie and really see the core DNA of what this movie is, and that was two sons trying to prove their worth to their father. And that's just what I took away from that movie. I think it's great. It's certainly just awesome. All right, Wes, what is your number 11 as we get into the top 10, the nitty gritty?
Well, we're at 11.
11.
So 11 is going to be Thor Ragnarok.
Okay.
Funny, great movie. Good comic relief. And Jeff Goldblum was amazing. And I just had a really good time with this movie. My son, this is one of his favorites because of the Hulk and everything else. You know what I mean? So
one of your favorites.
Yeah.
I think I might surprise you with my number 11. Yeah, and I'll talk about Thor Ragnarok here in a beat. Thor Ragnarok is certainly, it's arguably one of the most, probably outside of Infinity War, the darkest MCU film. Thor loses his eye. He loses his hammer. He loses his sister. He has to kill his sister. He thinks his best friend is dead. He just lost his dad in the beginning of the movie. He's trying to reconnect with his lost best friend and Bruce Banner Hulk. And he loses his home. He loses Asgard. Now I get it when they were like, Asgard's a people, not a place. I get that, but he still lost his home where he grew up for thousands of years.
Bro,
dude, it's dark, man.
And they're like, you get the Hulk. And he's like, yes. And Loki's like, oh no.
Then he starts slamming around. And he's like, that's how it feels. I love that, man. I love it so much. My number 11, I think, is going to be I think everybody's going to kind of raise their eyebrow, but okay. So just spoiler alert. My number 10, we just talked about it, Thor Ragnarok. And the reason I'm doing this is because of what I have to say about this next film. My number 11 is, and there's nothing really more to add on Thor Ragnarok. It's just fantastic. I just had to put it there because I just want to explain why this one's just a step below it. I know I'm going to get a lot of people go, Reed, like, what the crap? What are you doing? But I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in here. I already put it in here. No, I didn't. I think I'm gonna get a lot of people going, what the F are you doing? I put the Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier, number 11. I know that's going to rub people the wrong way, and I get that. I don't care. This is my list. You're more than welcome to make your own list and put your name on it. But me will have to be the Winter Soldier.
I did.
No, not you. I'm talking about people that are watching. But yeah, Winter Soldier, look, I love for all the reasons everyone else talks about. There's nothing else I can add to it that we don't already know and talk about in here. For me, I love the film. I think it's great. Definitely one of the better comic book movies. I just don't put it on the top as maybe some other people would. Again, this is just a personal MCU ranking. I get it. I know I'm in the minority, and that's fine. But that's just my honest to God list. Wes, what's your number 10?
My number 10 is actually Captain America the First.
Okay, so we're not too far off. All right. So not too far.
The first Captain America, it's back in the day. It's good. It's a damn good
Number
film.
10, Thor Ragnarok. Number 10 for you, Captain America 1. What are some of your reasons for putting it in the top 10? Like, why do you think it's like, what to you puts that as in the top 10? Captain America 1, best MCU films.
Because of it just being like Captain America was a staple. So I feel like as a comic book fan and as this, like, I have to have it in my top 10 because he's a staple. You know what I mean? He's not the best. He's not, up there. You know what I mean? But like, he is.
I feel that.
And I really like the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And,
like you get to see how he like becomes Captain America, how he's so small, and the CGI was better than most of the movies that are coming out now.
You're not wrong. I mean, there are some questionable things in there. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I mean, everything you said, I pretty much agree with.
Dog, you're talking about like you're giving people lessons. Whenever like he's still small, and they're like, whoever gets the flag first, gets to ride in the car.
Yep.
And he just goes over
knocks
there.
It over. Yeah.
Takes out the
didn't say how to get it.
Falls over it. Yeah, they didn't say anything about that. So
he jumps on the grenade and
jumps on the grenade and nobody else does.
Nope.
I thought, like, get away, and I was like, oh, dude, so good.
Wait a minute. I love that.
So good.
Captain America. And look, I'm not going to fight you over putting Captain America 1 in top 10 MCU films. I mean, in top 5, I don't think so. I obviously put it at number 13. But I think you can make an argument that it is in the top 10. I mean, I had it right there at 13. So it is definitely right up there. But for me, my number 9, Wes, here we're getting into some good stuff. All right. So this is the nitty gritty. I'm going to be the first one to put it since you won't. But No Way Home. Wes, I remember calling you the night that I came out of that. No way.
9?
Is it 9? Is yours 9? Is yours 9? Oh, okay. All right. Chat, I called Wes the night after seeing this movie. I was in Knoxville, and my wife's family lives right there toward Knoxville. And we went out to watch at the Regal over there. Beautiful theater. Wonderful, wonderful place. Went to watch it. Wes, we kind of talked about this already in another stream. Obviously, my favorite parts was the Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, just like everyone else, right? But for me, I contend Andrew Garfield's the best live-action Spider-Man. That's me. But I grew up with the Tobey Maguire version, right? Tobey Maguire is my boy. But I think Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man. Let me talk. When I was watching No Way Home, everybody flipped their lid when Andrew Garfield came out. Because they had him come out first, right? And he's masked, and everybody's like, is it him? Is it him? Is it not him? Like, what? He takes his mask off. I teared up. I already knew it was him. The tears were coming. I could feel my eyes like hurting because I'm trying to hold it back, right? Because I'm like, I'm not crying. It's just stupid Spider-Man, And then I feel it drop. And then when Tobey Maguire pops up, and I couldn't help it, man. I ugly cried. Like, so bad seeing Tobey Maguire back full. I'm getting chills thinking about it. Tobey Maguire coming through the portal and just the interaction between all them. And he's like, yeah, I found an black alien space goo, and he's like, Tom Holland's like, I'm part of the Avengers. Like, oh, that's cool. What is that? Like, I love that interaction. And what I'm glad that they did in this movie was I'm glad they didn't do a quick Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire. Like, they're here, they're gone. They were a significant part of the movie. Like, in the last 30 minutes, I mean, a good chunk of the movie they were in. So, I don't know, Wes, I know you'll be talking about it here in a moment, but before we get to that, what is your number 9?
My number 9 is, You Ain't Looking.
Oh, sorry. Oh, Black Panther. Are you surprised that I have Black Panther higher than yours?
Yep.
Are you?
Yeah.
Because it's right there at number 8. It's right there. I was seeing if you were going to be like, all right, man, where's that Black Panther at? Yes, the reason I went ahead and threw that in 8 because we're just about to talk about it. Wes, man, I'm going to throw it to you, man. What do you love about this movie, man? What puts this in the top 10 for you?
Oh man,
I know,
because
too many reasons.
dude, there's too many.
It's
I
so
mean,
good. This movie's
it's
so good.
so good, dude. Like Michael B. Jordan does an
Yep.
amazing performance in this.
Michael
In
B.
this,
Jordan always slaps, dude. Always
so
slaps.
good, dude. He is, and as Killmonger, come on, dude, you can't go. It's so good. He's great. Um, I mean, shoot, like Bozeman, seeing him as a leader and seeing how they go to the afterlife and how they become Black Panther and just all the things, man, all the things. It's
I love
so
this
good,
movie.
and the technology that they've got compared to everybody else, and like, you know what I mean. and
Yeah.
and they're very you got to understand, like, these people are like, we don't want to share we don't want to share our stuff with the world because we've seen what the world does with technology and with this type of
And
thing.
you were
Do you know
able to
what I mean?
see both sides, though. You were able to
Right.
see both sides of what Killmonger was talking about. And while he was wrong, like he was literally like advocating for unaliving women and children. I mean, he was willing to go that distance, right? And we seen him even do that to a woman in the movie. Yeah, Ulysses Claw was cool. Seeing Andy Serkis back as
Oh yeah.
Claw, I thought that was awesome. Dude, the what's there not to love, man? The Black Panther's so good, and I had a great time with it. I remember going to watch it, and the theater was packed, and not to mention the cultural significance of what this
Oh
film
yeah.
represents. I mean, like,
Oh
it
yeah.
is what it is. And by the way, if anyone has issue with that, you can go fuck yourself. But this movie, like, it speaks in ways that even I can't understand and will never understand. But that being said, I love this movie. I love the conflict that it brought to the table from the points of view of a T'Challa and Killmonger, and them kind of going back and forth in the movie. And what does that mean? What does that mean for the world? What does that mean for the characters? And they both kind of had their own ideologies of what was right, but they were both so radically different. And that's what I thought made for great dynamic storytelling. And dude, there are absolutely no negative qualms with me in this movie, and further proves my point why M'Baku could have been the next Black Panther.
Yeah. By far.
He was this close to beating T'Challa. The only reason
Yeah.
he beat him is because T'Challa didn't want to. He didn't want to hurt him, but he
Yeah.
made him tap. He's like, "I don't want to hurt you. Don't make me do this." And they ended up tapping. And
Yeah.
then Killmonger came in and wrecked shop. I mean, like, that it sucks. I get it, but no, like, he M'Baku won that fight. He won.
Yeah.
He won.
Oh yeah.
He just had the respect for the queen and Shuri, and I think T'Challa himself. I mean, he thanked of him as a warrior and as a friend and as a brother. And but I can go on and on and on and on about this movie. It's fantastic. Wes, you and I both love it. You have it at number 9. I have it at number 8. So, speaking of number 8, what is yours, sir?
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Okay. Did I forget that one? No, I'll put it there.
No, it's up there for you.
Spider.
I enjoyed this way more than you, apparently.
No, it's, I mean, who knows? Ask me again next week. I could change my mind, but
It was
I had
the first Spider-Man movie. It's so, I just loved it, man.
I just didn't. Him as the, oh, he's not cool enough. Let's throw Iron Man in here. It was like, really?
But
You
Iron
know,
Man's trying to, anyway.
yeah,
I
I
like
get it. I get it. Not gonna rehash what I said, but do you want to add anything to that?
No, we're good. I'm good.
You're pretty solid.
I'm pretty solid.
All right, this is where it's going to start getting a little feisty, little feisty. Wes, oh, you're next because I put Black Panther at 8. So what's your number 7?
It's going to be Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Wait, did I miss one? No, I didn't. Sorry, I think I counted wrong.
What are you doing, man?
I counted wrong. You said Winter Soldier?
Yeah. Come on.
I had to check something. The Winter Soldier. Yeah, and here we're getting some nitty gritty. I think it's going to become pretty clear what's going to be in my top 5. But Wes, what are some of your reasons for putting Winter Soldier so high? I mean, a lot of people think it's that high. I mean, you're not alone. But what are some of your key
Oh
takeaways?
man, I love the dynamic. I love the dynamic of like Bucky being Winter Soldier and like him and Cap going at it together and him trying to like you're just like what happened, like why is Bucky being this way, you know what I mean,
The
and you don't
fighting was
realize that.
riveting,
Yeah, and then you
riveting.
don't realize that like he's been brainwashed, and then you're like, oh man, like come on, dude, like slap some sense into him, and then like even at the end, whenever he like, they're fighting and then like they fall into the water and Bucky drags him out, you know what I mean, and kind of just like walks off, you know what I mean. He didn't have to save him, but he
No,
did.
that is
You
true.
know what I'm saying?
Didn't have
It
to.
just,
I
I
love
really,
the way it ended. I again, I don't put it in the top because some people contend it's the best comic book movie ever made. Now, I wouldn't give it that high praise. Like, I don't think it's better than Logan. I don't think it's better than a couple of the films we're about to talk about, obviously. But because I put it, I think I put it at number 11. So I'm not too far behind you. But at the same time, it's like, look, I get it. If you put it in the top 10, I don't have any issue with that. I mean, I could see why somebody would, and I love it for the same reasons. I just don't think it resonated with me as much as, blankety blank,
right.
whatever. And I love the Cap trilogy. I think it's great. All right. So my number 7 is I struggled with the top 5 because what struggle in the top 5 did was it made me struggle with 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And because of that reason, I don't really have a formula, and you and I probably think about this a different way. I don't think I'm going about this the same way you are, and that's fine. But one of the factors that I'm bringing in to this list that we've been doing is what's the rewatchability factor? Like, how many times am I going to go, I can't wait to see that again, right? Like, I want now. That's not to say that's my go-to definitive factors into did I like a movie or not. No, absolutely not. I love Schindler's List, but I'm not like, oh my god, I can't wait to see that again. you know, like I like Jojo
Jesus.
Rabbit. I can't wait to see the boy's mom die again. Like I don't. No, no the shoe scene. Oh my god, that movie fantastic. But no, like anyhow. Number 7 for me, Wes, I'm going to have to say it, but I just have to, just based on pure enjoyment factor. I'm going to go ahead and call it. Um, I'm going to go with Guardians. We just talked about it, Guardians Volume 3. This movie, man, is it was such a refresher. I'm just recapping. I know we talked about last night, not much to talk about. Go watch our spoiler discussion on that from last night's stream. But Guardians Volume 3 was such a huge refresher for me. Post Endgame, the movies have been quite mediocre and not really living up to the potential pre Endgame. I mean, yeah, Shang-Chi was great. I liked Eternals, blah, blah, blah. But man, Guardians 3, like No Way Home, yeah, had some great moments, but I did think it had some narrative stuff wrong with it. Guardians 3, Wes, I think you and I agreed the only really big issue we had was a nitpick, and that was Adam Warlock, and that really wasn't that big of a deal. So,
Yep.
I mean, Wes, that's my pick for number 7, Guardians 3. Again, if you haven't, go watch our spoiler discussion. Not really much else to add on to that, but yeah, Hades Kids is number 7. Okay, yeah, number 7 for me. Guardians 3. I love it so much. But Wes, that's my number 7. What is your number 6 as we creep into the top 5?
My number 6.
And anything you want to add to that?
No, I mean that's
Pretty
you
much the
pretty much said
same
it all.
same
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I mean, it's great. I mean, what's there not to love about No Way Home? I can see people though creeping it into the top 5 of the MCU, definitely for sure. All right, so my number 6 is, oh my god, there's not many left. Oh my Jesus Lord. Oh, this is getting it's getting rough, man. It's getting rough.
Yep. Come
I'm
on,
I'm
buddy.
gonna I'm gonna be the first one to do it. The first Iron Man. I have special thoughts with this movie. I done ran through in a previous stream my experience with watching the first Iron Man. I didn't even know about post credit scenes. I mean, I've seen them, like, but I haven't seen a film like Iron Man before at the time. Seeing it 15 years ago on the big screen, and I'm sitting in there watching it. I had a blast with the movie, and at the just recapping what I said the other night. I'm watching through the post credits because me and my buddy are like, "Oh my god, this is great! Oh my god, Iron Man was going all crazy." And then Nick Fury shows up, and me and him look at each other. We grab our arms and we're like squeezing each other. We're going, "Is that Nick Fury? Like, is that Nick Fury?" And then he turns around. I'm Nick Fury. And it's like, oh my God, they're doing the Avengers. And then he's like, I want to talk to you about the Avengers. And we're like, oh my fucking God, it was awesome. So my thoughts with Iron Man is not just the post-credit scene was awesome. The movie is great and it continues to be great. I just watched it again the other day just because I'm like, I love this fucking movie. It's great. Wes, what's your number 5? I know we're trying to plow through these. What's number 5?
Sorry. The kid's not feeling well, so we're like rolling through
Yes,
these really quick.
we are. We are rolling through here. I'm sorry. Yes.
I'm like, we gotta roll. So my number 5 is actually going to be Guardians 3.
We had it right there. Wow. Okay. Pretty close. Pretty close. Yeah,
it was
really
a
nothing
big
more
refresher. It was a great refresher. We talked about it yesterday. There's not really much to add what we said yesterday. Just a really good, really great movie. Really great movie.
Good refresher. It's definitely fantastic. Number 5, Wes. This is. I'm struggling, man. I'm legitimately struggling with this because on one hand I'm like, please help, but I feel like some are missing. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I feel like some are missing.
No.
What's missing?
I mean, we've got
just name the ones that are
the 2 that I know that we're going to be putting up front.
3 Avengers movies.
The 3 Avengers movies.
And Civil War. I didn't put Civil War yet. Yeah, Civil War for me. And what's the next one?
I've got, Infinity War, Endgame, Iron Man, Guardians, Spider-Man, Avengers. I don't know.
Crap, what am I missing? Oh my God. Wes, what's your number 4 while I think about it? Because I'm drawing a blank here on what am I missing.
My number 4 is Avengers.
Avengers 1?
Avengers 1.
Oh, man. Dude. I had to throw it. I had to throw it in there, man. The bum 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 bum, dude. I freaking love the first Avengers movie. The shot alone is just fantastic. Having the classic, camera twirl around the 360 shot, and I love how they recreated it in Endgame. I thought that was a lot of fun. This film, yes, obviously kicks so much ass. This movie is just it's what's there to say? What is there to say? The movie's great. Loki's great. The villain's great. Captain America's suit looks a little weird, but it's great. I have the hot toy sitting right over here. I'm about to yank it out. I've got the hot toy of Iron Man. I've got a hot toy of Thor. I've got a hot toy of ScarJo. The only ones I don't have are Hawkeye and Hulk. I don't have hot toys for those, but I do have ones for the other ones. Multiple hot toys, different costumes. So yeah, this movie's it's freaking awesome. All right, Wes. We'll go into the last couple here. What am I I feel like I'm forgetting. I don't want you to go too far, dude. Name through just indulge me. Go through your list one more time.
Okay, Ant-Man, Quantumania, Dark World, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Thor, Love and Thunder, Ant-Man, Iron Man 2, The Incredible Hulk, Wakanda Forever, Guardians 2, Eternals, Iron Man 3, Black Widow, Guardians 1, Thor, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man Far From Home.
That's what I forgot. Guardians 1. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Guardians 1. Yeah. Okay, that was it. Okay. I really, 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 really love Guardians 1. I'm gonna swap though these because I had a brain fart and forgot where I was at. But I think Guardians 1 just so slightly tops Volume 3 for me because Guardians 1 has such that it kind of set the tone for these characters, right? So it kind of it had to set that tone of what these films were going to be. So that's kind of where I place that. So all right, we're on track now. I know that. All right, so number 4, Wes will creep in our top 3 here in just a second. Iron Man already went through that. Guardians 1 already went through that. Guardians 3 went through that. Number 4, I'm probably the 3 Avengers movies. My goodness. How do you rank those? Like seriously.
I know how I
it's hard, man. It's hard. My number one's easy. I can tell you that
Nope.
one easy. I
Nope.
know. I'm gonna go Civil War. I think Civil War is my number 4, just because I love it that much, and I hate to do that. I'm lumping the 3 Avengers movies here, but the all 3 of those are so fucking good. So, Wes, what's your number 3? Guardians 1?
No.
What?
What?
Guardians 1?
No.
Oh, what
What
is
are you talking about?
what's your number
I've
3
already
then?
Guardians 1 was like way back there
Oh, was
for
it?
me.
Oh, sorry. Well, what's your number
You
3?
got really surprised at that. You don't remember
You're
that?
right. You're right.
Come on, man.
What's your
I'll
number
say
3?
Iron Man.
Oh man, I love. I mean, like you
The
said, this,
original, bro.
like you said,
It's the very beginning, son.
very
It's
beginning,
the
and
very
like you said,
beginning.
man, this list could change, right? Because next week you and I could be
Yeah.
like, no, we're going to change the top 10 because these in the top 10 are so good to me. Like Guardians 1, I think deserves to be in the top 10. Guardians 3 deserves to be in the top 10. Black Panther, No Way Home, Thor Ragnarok, Iron Man, Civil War, the 3 Avengers movies. I mean, yeah, Age of Ultron's in the lower part, but that's where I'm with that. All right, man. We'll get into our number 1. It'll be pretty obvious if you say number 2. So I'm gonna do my number 3. Um, ah, oh my god, I hate to do this. I hate to do it, but it's in
Don't
game.
do it.
It's in
Don't
game.
do it,
It's in
man.
game. I look,
There's
listen,
no fucking way.
listen,
There's no way.
listen.
There's no way.
I am the only person that I know, and I get people looking at me wide browed and everything, and I get it and I accept it. Whatever, go fuck yourself. I think the first half of Avengers Endgame is better narrative wise and story and pacing wise and cadence wise than the second half of the film. I've always contended that ever since watching it. Look, I enjoy Cap wielding Mjolnir. I enjoyed Cap, wrecking Thanos. I enjoyed the whole Mjolnir stuff and the whole final battle and T'Challa coming back and being the first to come through the portal and then Falcon and then everybody and their mom and Howard the Duck and everybody coming in and wrecking shop. I had a great time with the last half of Endgame, but I wouldn't be lying if I said that, you know, I prefer the first half of Endgame, and to that reason alone is why it is at number 3 for me. Dude, we're talking about the top 5. Come on, you knew it was going to be hard.
That's wrong.
You're wrong.
That's wrong.
Wes,
That is wrong.
what is your number 2?
Infinity War is number 2.
Yeah, so that obviously leaves number 1 for in-game. In-game?
Yeah.
In-game Mur. And that would leave mine as Avengers 1 and mine Infinity War. I think Infinity War is the best, quintessential best MCU film. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is our top 10. Wes, just right quick. Let's run through these just right. Hang on, let me Duke. All right, mine's here on the left. Wes's is here on the right. Let's Wes, you want to list your top 10 right quick?
Captain America 1, 10. Black Panther, number 9. Spider-Man Homecoming is number 8. Winter Soldier, No Way Home. Then you got Guardians in my top 5. Guardians 3. Then you got Avengers, the first Avengers. Then you got Iron Man, the original, the first that started it all. Then you've got Infinity War and Endgame is my number 1 because Endgame is the best movie out of all of these because of the fight scene that still gives me goosebumps, and I know it gives you goosebumps
every time,
every
fucking time, every time.
And I cry and I have fun. Like, dude, no, you are wrong. You are wrong. You're wrong.
Oh my. Dude, hey, ask me again next week. It could change.
Nope.
Who knows?
You know the Endgame should be number 1.
My number 10, Thor Ragnarok. Number 9, No Way Home. Number 8, Black Panther. 7, Guardians Volume 3. 6, Guardians 1. Just and it's really funny because to me, Guardians 3, I know this is weird. Guardians 3 elevated 1 for me because it reminded me how much I love the Guardians, right? And I think Guardians 1 deserves in the top 10 slot. Now, that might go a little bit back and forth. You know what? I'm going to make a change. All right, Wes, are you confident in your list?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm not.
obviously.
So yeah, okay, so I'm gonna do this, but yeah, Black Panther needs to be. I enjoy Black Panther better than uh Guardians Volume 1. There we go. All right, Guardians Volume 1, Guardians Volume 3. I 3 elevated one for me, and that's the reason that I put 1. That's why I flopped those, because it made me think and remind myself why I love the Guardians. But Guardians 3, to me, the Guardians 3 had more emotion. To me, it had more of a narrative connection, like, if that makes sense. It had more of a, the way it ends too, because I'm a big fan of the way stuff ends as well. And No Way Home is one of my favorite endings of any movie in the last probably decade. I
Hmm.
love the way they end this movie, and I love the way they end Infinity War. I love the way they end that film with Thanos winning. I love that because it's his movie. It's Thanos' movie. If the directors have said if Thor would have killed Thanos, it would have been Thor's movie because it's about Thor, but it's also about Thanos, right? So you kind of see that. But No Way Home had a great ending. Guardians 1, Guardians Volume 3 at number 7, 6 Black Panther, 5 Iron Man, 4 Civil War, 3 Endgame, number 2 Avengers 1, and number 1 Avengers Infinity War. This, to me, is the quintessential list, but that is me. Wes, let's go right here with the chat. Y'all just bear with us 1 second and let us fix this right quick and just allow us to dive through this. We're just going to steamroll through the chat here because we're both going to have to
Yeah, dude, I've
kind
got
of
to
hurry
I've
up.
got to
No,
roll,
no,
man.
you're good. You're good. Let's go through this just right quick, and we'll steam through this. All right. So I've got to. All right. Bear with me 1 second. All right. So we left off, Wes, with all right, Paramedea. I don't remember every MCU movie. Go through 10 right now. All right, so we're going to dive through these guys again. We apologize. We're going to cut it off a little early. 80s, the Russo brothers messed up Hulk.
Oh,
Yes, they
early.
did.
Hell,
Hey, let me say this. Russo brothers messed up Hulk. Yeah, I do think Hulk was definitely neutered. 80s, let's hear them. Paramedea, Black Panther, number 9, Ant-Man, number 8, Spider-Man Far From Home, number 7, Guardians of the Galaxy. 80s Kid says Mysterio was awesome. Yeah, I think Wes and I agree that is definitely the case. Paramedea, 6, Iron Man. 80s Kid says Iron Man and Guardians was great films. Absolutely. Paramedea, number 5, Captain America. 80s Kid says The First Avenger. I think you were asking Paramedea. Paramedea, Captain America, Winter Soldier. Oh, that's another great one. Absolutely. All those by this point are great. Paramedea, 3, Captain America Civil War. Not a bad pick, my friend. 80 says Spider-Man and Black Panther are awesome. 80's Kid follows up with It's in Your Heart, Boy. Yondu is awesome. Yep. That, dude, Guardians 3, man. Awesome. Paramedea, 2, Endgame, and Infinity War. So you kind of lump it up in one. Okay. Paramedea, number 1, Spider-Man No Way Home. Hey, I don't have any issues with that. Yeah, I have my issues with No Way Home, but, is what it is. 80's Kid says, all good choices. I'm glad for Rocket he became the captain. Absolutely. Dude, they set that up like so
hmm.
perfectly in Infinity War. Imagine when Quill discovers Blockbuster and Toys R Us are closed. I wonder what Quill would think of Prequella. The prequel. Oh, the prequels. The prequels are great. I love the Clone Wars too. It would be funny to hear what Quill thinks. I said Prequella. What am I?
What the
Prequels.
hell is
I'm
wrong with
stupid.
you?
I don't know. It's late. Yeah, dude. I don't think they'll dive that much like on the nose, but I mean, it would be interesting. I'm not gonna lie. 80's Kid says, I'm going to watch Guardians Volume 3 every weekend on Blu-ray. Yeah, I need to rush out to the theater and watch that. That's a movie that needs to be seen in the theater. That was
Hmm.
when 80's Kid said Arsham the Judge talked about that. Peter Quill was part celestial. Yes, he was, but he did lose his power. Yep, but he no longer has those powers. I don't want anyone else making Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. That's Gunn's movie trilogy. I'm down to see someone else have a different approach because these characters are now disbanded. They're all kind of in their own
Hmm.
little thing. So now at this point, I think they're all at a good off point. Give me a new director now to tell stories of these other characters. That's my
Hmm.
thought on that. Um, Ace Kid says, "Oh my gosh, Star-Lord discovering an iPhone. Yeah, that would be hilarious." By the way, how is it? Because he was only on Earth for like 15 minutes in Endgame. So now that he's fully back on Earth, like spoilers by the way, if you haven't seen Guardians 3, I wonder how that's gonna interact with the story. But who knows? Maybe 5 years before we see him again. Someone says to Quill, "Have you not been on Earth?" Quill, "No, I've been in outer space saving the galaxy. You're welcome." Their Nirvana song from Captain Marvel is awesome. That's when Wes said, "Come as you are." Great song, absolutely. Guardians 3, awesome soundtrack. It was just a cat that scratched his eye. I always thought Winter Soldier took his eye. And see, that would have been a better narrative, Wes. Stupid flirkin. No,
absolutely not.
No, you're wrong. Wong, you're invited to my wedding. Yeah, love Infinity War. Love that line. It was great. Explain to me why a normal kid can hack into a Stark tech suit. Peter's not your average normal kid. Just saying.
Yeah,
but I see what you're saying. I do see what you're getting at. I would have rather seen more Times Square than all. After all this, is a Spider-Man film. Oh yeah, I kind of like the setting. My complaint is that Marvel didn't let him be Spider-Man in Homecoming. Again, that's kind of my complaint about the first two Spider-Man movies. But by the time we got to No Way Home, dude, the way that ends, bruh, that was awesome. I'm sorry. Since when does Spider-Man call somebody when he's a superhero? Abso-freaking-lutely. This is the day your life will truly change. Oh my God, you're bringing the waterworks. 80s. We need to talk about Red Skull. The fact that Marvel forgot about him until Infinity War made no sense. He could have been in the Winter Soldier or Civil War. It makes sense. It's like poetry. It rhymes. Well, I don't know about that. Red Skull would be really difficult to do because you're going to have to explain a lot of different things. The way he ends up in Vormir is narratively makes sense because the Space Stone is what took him to that place, right? So it only makes sense, right, to have him there. There's not really much to explain. It's like, oh, the Space Stone took him there. Okay, cool. They buy that. So I think that's fine. Is that the best you could do? You had to ask. Oh yeah, the line in Age of Ultron, Thor says, "Is that the best you could do?" When he sends all the drone bots. Sokovia, yep, talking about that. Agreed. Cap and Iron Man were a bunch of babies. Signed the contract. No, at least we got the airport battle. But that's what I love about Civil War is because they told both sides. They told both sides. Wrong. Star-Lord lost his mom because his dad killed her, so he had to kill his dad. Absolutely. Andrew's the best. He had an amazing suit. Maguire is great too. I argue that Andrew Garfield has the best live-action suit. Amazing Spider-Man 2, that suit with the big eyes, the one he wore in No Way Home. But Andrew Garfield's also the best Spider-Man. Nope. So there's that. Nope. Best
Iron Spider, bitch.
Nope. Best Spider-Man. Iron Spider. What? No.
Yes, dude. Yeah.
No, you're wrong.
Best suit is the Iron Spider.
No.
Like, get out of here.
No, it's stupid.
Oh my God.
Kevin Davis says, hey, thank you again, Kevin, for chiming in. Number 1, The Avengers. Number 2, Deadpool. Number 3, Avengers Infinity War. Number 4, Black Panther. Thor, Ragnarok. Number 5, 6, Shang-Chi. Number 7, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. 8, Wakanda Forever. 9, Captain America, Winter Soldier. Now, we were talking about MCU specifically. Deadpool doesn't fit into that, but we'll take it. That's fine. Deadpool is a great comic book movie. It's definitely up there.
It would be in my top 5.
It would probably up there. Yeah, probably up there. Number 7, okay. 80s, I don't know if you were talking about me or Kevin there. Kevin says number 10, Black Widow. 11, Thor, 11, Thunder. 12, Ironheart. Ironheart. 13, The Eternals. 14, Deadpool 2. 15, Thor. 16, Ant-Man. 17, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. 80s Kid says
with that Ant-Man shit. You're gonna hate me.
80s Kid says we have a Hulk. Oh, dude, great line in Infinity War. I just popped on that scene the other day when he's like, your optimism is misplaced as Guardian. He's like, number 1, I'm not his Guardian. Number 2, we have a Hulk. And he comes in and he gets Mike Tyson by Thanos. It's great. All he need to do is just bite his ear. We have a Hulk. Loki got beat to a pulp by Hulk. Absolutely. Captain Iron Man. Absolutely. Hulk smash. Hulk has a big grin. Yeah. And agreed. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us for another installment for The Usual Skeptics. It's been great to have you guys. Wes, why don't you sign us off? And thank you again to everybody that's been able to join us this evening. Wes, go ahead and sign us off.
Awesome, guys. Thank you again for joining us. Sorry we're having to rush through this thing. But I do appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming on here, watching us. Just put a like, comment, all that good stuff. Like, I know that you guys know what you're supposed to do. You can also find me at West Rathbone 86 on Twitter. But guys, thank you so much. This was fun. There's been a lot of shockers in here, I guess. But just hit us up, tell us whether we're right, wrong in your eyes. But in all reality, it's our list. It is what it is. So it's what we think. But nobody's right, nobody's wrong, to be honest with you. Whatever you like, you know, you like. So anyway, thank you guys very much. I hope y'all have a wonderful evening. And we will be back tomorrow at 10 unless something goes wrong, and we'll let you guys know if that happens. So
Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah, guys, it's been, like Wes said, it's been a huge pleasure. Thank you to each and every one of y'all that have come to hang out with us again. Thank you for the loyal folks in there. Again, if you have not, which I can see, so don't try to lie. Please, if you've liked the content or if there's something that Wes and I can do better, please let us know in the comments. We want to make sure that we're delivering the best content possible. So if there's something in here that maybe we could be doing or trying different, do let us know. We're down to, we're open to suggestions, subject to constructional feedback and all that kind of stuff. So we want to make it the best for you guys, whether, it's the quality of the video, the stream, the audio quality. We want to make sure everything's tip top notch. I know Wes and I are remote. We are separate and we're Skyping in and then putting it out through here. But I think everything's, been going good on our end. Right now, it's the best we can do as far as that goes. But if there's anything else about the show that y'all want to see different, do let us know in the comments. And if you haven't already, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. Again, I mentioned it last night. We are going to be doing a podcast starting on Tuesday. There's some stuff I got to finish up getting together. It's a lot of work, so going to be doing that as well. So y'all have different ways to watch or listen to this as we go, and it give people a little more access and things like that. So again, thank you so much for y'all's patience and indulgence. I know this is kind of a wanky episode, but we're going to go from there. Did I just say wanky? Absolutely. Wes, it's been fun, man. So it's been a treat. Like I said, Austin Powers is wanky. Look, tomorrow is going to be interesting. There's some stuff that I wanted to talk about tonight, but we knew this video was going to be long, so that's why we didn't talk about anything else. But tomorrow's going to be a normal show where we talk about a couple topics and then go into a main topic as our main subject of discussion, and then we'll take all y'all's comments at the end of the stream. But again, thank you guys for everything, for y'all being so active. 80 says wanky. Thank y'all for being so active in the chat. You guys are awesome. It definitely makes the community kind of grow, and share this with your friends. If you have people that think will watch it, do let us know. And again, if you've liked this content, do drop a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see y'all tomorrow 10 o'clock Eastern time, and be sure to see you then. All right, guys, y'all have a good one, and I'm going to bed. We'll see y'all.